Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone on YouTube and the NRL community. Welcome to round 3 of the NRL Season 5 Saturday splits, where it's crunch time for the drivers. Last night we saw 2 extremely intense races hosted by the Platinum Trio of Toon, Leo, and our very own T-Case, putting in a stint for the Friday team. Some of the drivers' fates were signed, sealed, and delivered, with some waiting in limbo ahead of our 2 races coming up. They'll be on tender hooks, knowing one more good result from today's drivers could seal their fate for this season's championship, with the Season 5 finale to follow next Saturday. As per usual, it'll be myself, Floor Genius Gaming, hosting today's events, joined by my incredible team of T-Case and Tatty, who will be providing me with their insight to all things great up and down the grid. Bringing us from the front, it's T-Case. How are you today, sir? And hope you got plenty of rest from last night's outing. It seemed very dramatic out there.
Indeed. I'm doing great. I slept wonderfully, and now I am super excited to see these races and find out who is actually going to make it into the finals and what those final races are going to be.
Indeed. And rounding us up from the rear, we have the amazing Tatty. Good day to you. How's everything? And excited for what's ahead?
Hey, absolutely. Everything's great here. I'm definitely excited for what's ahead. We've got some insight about both races from drivers, and looks like we have some really challenging combos today.
Yes, very, very challenging combos. I can't wait to see how this one is going to play out. But NRL is sponsored by Henke's Tavern, established in 1955 in the Old Town Florissant, the finest cuisine and bar in St. Louis, where you can dine in and dine out, play games and watch all your sports games, including the NRL, with a nice cool beverage, all from the comfort of the bar. We give a warm welcome from everyone in the NRL HQ, and a big thank you for sponsoring us throughout Season 5, because if you ain't first, we're open to 1 a.m. And struggling to balance those books and need assistance? Little J CPA is here to help, working out all those complicated calculations and relieving you of such stress. So steer clear of tax troubles with Little J CPA, our other official sponsor for the whole of NRL Season 5. A big thank you to both Little J CPA and Henke's Tavern for your continued support. So before we get into today's event, here's a quick reminder of the updated combined standings of both Division A and Division B after 2 rounds. For those that are unsure on what that entails, it's Friday and Saturday of that same division combined into one league table. Remember, top 14 after today's races will qualify for the grand finale next Saturday. So let's see what's at stake for the drivers going into the final round in the group stage. T-Case, if you can run us through the overall Division B standings, please.
Yes, of course. NP1 sitting with a hefty 63 points. We have PHG Shaggy Doo, followed by BHR Pelias Pango with 43 points. Tied for second is Arnex with also 43 points. Then in 4th place, we have Corridor with 35 points. Then in P5, Sugar Shuffles with 32 points. With 29 points, we have PHG Mr. Ormond in P6. In P7, we have Stumpy with 28 points, followed closely by Bandit with 27 points. In P9, J Senior with 26 points. P10, Old Man Pip with 25 points. P11, we have Spawn with 22 points. Then a tie for 12th with Slick, SHVR2, and PHG Lead Pencil, both with 20 points. Then to round out the top 14, we have PHG Arrow with 16 points. In 14th, we have RSR Zilla with 16 points. Then we have a tie for 16th between Park Hay and Angry Fredbird with 11 points. Krulab in P18 with 10 points. PHG Strick in P19 with 9 points. Then we have a tie for 20th between PHG Horn of Plenty and BHR Johnny Boy, both with 8 points. Then in 22nd place, we have Beef Castle with 6 points. P. Rosal in 23rd with 2 points. MD Hop is our last points earner in 24th place with 1 point. And we have a 4-way tie for last with S7R Shadow Chef, Santa Miguel, Z48 Car, and BHR Fernando B with 0 points.
Thank you, TK. And Tessie, if you can read out the overall standings from Division A, please.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was muted. I can absolutely do that for you, Flawed. So, in first place with 57 points, we have PHG Jorge Sr. Wid in second with 51 points. Also tied with second, rather, with Boba Jidu CBR with 51 points. Talon comes in at fourth with 40 points. MMR Moose is in fifth with 36 points. In sixth place, we have PHG Fast Cougar QC with 35 points. And in seventh, The Truth Serum with 31 points. Right after him, we've got S7R Nuke in eighth with 25 points. Cyrus Nikki GT is in ninth with 24 points. In 10th, we have Alicos 1 with 22 points. I hope I said that right. I apologize. In 11th, a tie with PHG Lyric and Darken Azriel, both with 16 points. Then 13th place, we're looking at PHG Rick Shear with 15 points. Almost Podium is in 14 with 14 points. In 15th place, tied with PHG Caper, we're looking at Subi 15. Both of them have 12 points. In 17th, Chief Apollo 11th has 11 points. 18th place is PHG Salamander, tied with Digital Relay, both with 10 points there. In 20th, PHG Papa has 6 points. Lagtastics. Thank you, Lagtastics in 21st has 5 points. Then 22nd has a 3-way tie between PHG Sheldologist, RSR Ace R1, and GI Boku with 2 points apiece. 25th place is also tied between Luis and Felmora, both with 1 point apiece. And then in 27th, a tie with 0 points between Deputy Fishtail and Bandit 1.
Thank you, Tati. So the drivers from today will know what's at stake going into the final group stage race. So now on to the first of the 2 races we have planned for you today, the third and final round of our Division B group stage. And we are in Europe for the beautiful location of Croatia, the sister circuit to the not always sunny location of Dragon Trail. Clues in the title there. It is Dragon Trail Gardens. There'll be a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a 23-lap race with a grid start, full start check at this twisty technical circuit of the Gardens. Track length is 2.7 miles with a total of 14 turns in an anti-clockwise direction. And they'll be driving the high-powered Group 2 vehicle of the Lexus RCF GT500 2016 car. This 2-litre engine car is turbocharged front engines with power to its rear wheels for a max power of 614 brake horsepower, weighing in at 1,020 kilos. Balance of power is enabled with just brake balance to be tweaked, with heavy damage on as heavy, tyre wear set to ×4, and the fuel consumption rate at ×3. Racing softs and medium slicks are available to the drivers, but as rain is expected to sweep in, the intermediates and wets are also available with no tyre requirements. So strategy is completely open in this race. As per usual, in the group stage, the points allocation is as follows. 25 points going to the race winner, 18 for second, 15 for third, and in sequential order down to 10th with 1 point. The driver with the fastest lap finishing in the top 10 will be rewarded with an additional bonus point, which could prove to be pivotal in their survival in the championship, as top 14 across both Friday and Saturday combined on points at the end of today will secure their passage to the finals on Saturday, April the 26th. So the lineup in Division B are as follows. We have Bandit, BHR Johnny Boy, BHR Polaris Pango, MD Hop, Old Man Pip, P Ruzzle, Parquet, PHG Arrow, PHG Horn of Plenty, PHG Lead Pencil, S7R Shadow Chef, Santa Miguel, Slick, and lastly Spawn. Please make sure you do go and check out their streaming profiles applicable to them, as I'm sure they'll be streaming from their point of view, making sure you keep a tab open for us in the NRL so you don't miss any of the racing action. Right, so TKs, this is a very interesting combo. Dragon Trail Gardens is a circuit that I'm very fond of, but not really driven in the Lexus Group 2 car before. Have you tried this combo before, and what are your thoughts?
I haven't tried this combo before it was announced, so I did try it out preparing for this weekend. And while I, just like you, love this track, it was interesting to be in the Group 2 cars, as they are very low to the ground, have a lot of downforce, and with these huge curbs, the drivers are going to have to be very careful on the exits, not taking too much curb and bottoming out.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's a very grippy car, but certainly mistakes can happen. But Tati, what are your thoughts on this particular combo? I think you're muted.
Okay. I apologize. I must be hitting a button that I don't realize. I will figure that out next time it's not my turn to speak. I do apologize. But I have done this combo. I love it a lot, actually. I've done a championship race here, so I have a good bit of practice, particularly in this car at this combo. And while the curbs can be tricky, depending on which ones you hit, there are many that you can attack. And the car is just fast. So some of these faster corners, like that triple right-hander, are really a riot in these high downforce cars.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be a very fascinating watch here, and a very, very crucial race for their chances to move into the finals next week. One particular driver we're looking at now with Lead Pencil as the 10-minute qualifier is going ahead now. He got a P3 in the last race, and he's 12th overall, so he's just about inside that elusive top 14 position. Now, mathematically, he needs 18 points to clinch the finals position. But after what I saw from yesterday, it seems like maybe they won't need to actually pick up as many points. I've actually predicted that maybe the drivers need around about 23 points to qualify into the finals, which does make Lead Pencil needing 8th position or better from this race if he is to secure his position in the finals. So best of luck to Lead Pencil, but certainly Lead Pencil, who I've learned in recent times, very, very fast driver. Gets a lot of help from people in the background as well. So we'll see how his team comes to fruition. And so far so good, because he's got a pole position time of a 1:21.1, which is quite a bit faster than Slick. We are talking about 9/10 of a second quicker than Slick. That's in 2nd position. P. Rosal is up into 3rd position as well. But we are on board with Santa Miguel, who is currently in 7th position, 2.2 seconds down on the pole sitter Lead Pencil. Now he basically just needs a win. He's P25 overall, so it's all or nothing for Santa Miguel here. He really needs to get the best result possible and smash it with a win. So best of luck to Santa Miguel. But yeah, times are coming in thick and fast. But TK, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's looking good out there. Everybody's kind of giving a lot of space. I only see 2 drivers on the radar that are close, and that's going to be crucial. While it would be nice to get a tow down the long straight, these cars are heavy downforce, so any dirty air is going to disrupt. As we watch that triple right-hander, is it a quadruple right-hander, that you can take pretty much flat out in these cars. But if you have a car in front of you going through that sector, it's going to be a challenge to keep your foot pinned.
Yes, indeed. And how's he looking on your end, Tati, so far?
So good. I'm keeping an eye on people who need a good bit of points to clinch. I figure they'd also want to qualify well. So keeping an eye on people like Arrow, Zilla, sorry, not Zilla, I apologize, Lead Pencil, of course, you guys were just watching. Folks who need more than 10 points to clinch, I think need to qualify well here.
Yes, indeed. Oh, we've got a replay of Spawn on RTS Bandit then, as they came into the last sector of the lap for this sort of double left-hander. Oh, Spawn sends it on Bandit. It does knock him out of the way. Who I don't know if he's inflicted some damage on Bandit or not, but yeah, nasty coming together as Spawn pulls to the side of the track. So not 100% sure what's happened there. He's gone back into the pits and maybe looking to come back out on fresh tyres for the last 5 minutes of this qualifying session. But yeah, Johnny Boy we're on board with at the moment. So currently he's 5th position. His fastest lap time is a 1 minute 22.0, which is 1.5 seconds down on the pole sitter. That is a Lead Pencil, who's already just gone quicker with a 1 minute 20.3. But Johnny Boy is in a bit of a precarious position right now. He is P20 overall. He got 6th in the last race at Monza. Now to be mathematically secure, he does need to beat PHG Arrow by 9 points. But again, on my predictions, he will need at least a 3rd position going into this race. So currently 6th, not too far off of that at the moment. And obviously we've got a long race here at Dragon Trail Gardens. 23 laps is the race length, so a long way ahead. And it's going to be interesting if any rain does come into play as well, because of course that can change the race on its head basically, and could come out with all types of outcomes as we look on board with Slick at the moment. Another driver that his position a little bit precarious, although he is inside that top 14. He is 12th overall. He got a 9th position in the last race and needs 18 points to mathematically clinch a place into the final. But in my predictions as well with Slick, needs at least an 8th position. But yeah, speaking of the rain though, TK, I mean, like it will certainly pull the race onto its head. Can you envisage if there would be any rain here at Dragon Trail Gardens?
Yeah, in one of the practice lobbies I was in, it did rain, and they weren't running the race. They were just doing practice and letting the time progress. And in some of those scenarios, it rained pretty heavily. So much so that some of the drivers were opting for the wets. I stuck with the intermediates and found that it wasn't too challenging. You just have to brake a lot sooner. And it did make the car understeer a lot more. Going through this section that Old Man Pip's going through right now was a big adjustment from being on the soft. So the rain is going to play a factor if it does rain, because if your strategy is using the medium tires, you know, you might only be doing 1 pit stop and going on to the inters. But if you're opting to do the soft strategies, where you maybe pit twice and do 3 stints on softs, it might mess you up and cause you to do an extra pit stop. But it is good, however, the pit time loss is not very long here, so pretty quick pit stops. And if you get yourself a nice cushion, you could probably still come out in the position that you pit in.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, there could be a fair bit of we got sideways. I didn't quite see who that was.
That was Spawn.
Was it Spawn, was it? Good spot there, TKs. Yeah, Spawn having all sorts of trouble out of the chicane, it looks like then. as we go on the replay now. Oh, he didn't even touch the sausage, to be honest, but lost full control of the car. Luckily, it's in qualifying, though, as he is in fourth position at the moment, needing at least a ninth position from this race. He's looking reasonably comfortable in the league table, but he just needs a half decent result to really secure his position for the finals. But yeah, Santa Miguel really needs to try and pull it out the bag here. He's currently in seventh position, but he needs so much better if he's going to survive in this one. Yeah, just looking at the top three at the moment, we've got Lead Pencil on pole position with Slick in second and Polias Pango in third position. So your usual candidates at the top of the grid right now. Yeah, we'll see if Santa Miguel can improve on this lap, because he needs a second to catch up with Lead Pencil. What will be his final lap of qualifying as Lead Pencil goes even faster, dips beneath the 1 minute 20s, a 1 minute 19.997. Phenomenal lap there, Tezzy.
Yeah, stunning. Actually watching him, I wish I had seen the just how he put it together. I'm watching a couple other people who really needed better laps, but unfortunately we're seeing some struggles out here. It's going to be a hard race just to keep this car on the track for some.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we have also got Spawn as well in fourth position then. So good qualifying from him as we look on board with PHG Arrow. Currently in P5. Can he improve though? Yes, he can by just over 1.5 tenths, but will remain in fifth position ahead of RTS Bandit, who's already in the pits in sixth position. So it does look like many of the drivers are on their final lap. We'll see if Spawn can improve on his fourth position, who has currently set his fastest lap time of a 1 minute 20.8 as he goes a little bit wide out of the final corner, and he concedes defeat there as he pulls into the pits. But still a good qualifying session for him as we ride aboard with Polias Pango for the last time in qualifying, currently P3. And he's not going to go faster, so he's going to remain in third position, just 7,000th of a second behind Slick in second position. But it's Lead Pencil that's going to lead the way on pole position. Seems to be a class above the rest, I think, TKs.
Indeed. He really put the rest of the grid on notice there, just putting in faster lap after faster lap, getting into the 119s, just making sure everybody knows he's the fastest on track. He had pole position last week, but unfortunately, once he got to the first turn, fell way back, and then we had the treat of watching him fight back through the field. He's going to hope to just take pole position and run, and based on those lap times, I think he can do it.
Yeah, I think you could well be right. We have actually got a donation from RSR Zilla of $20 saying, let's slay the dragon, good luck racers. Yeah, hopefully all the drivers did hear that message, and let's hope they can slay the dragon. But thank you so much, Zilla, for that kind donation. Us at NRL, the drivers, really appreciate it, as that will be put in to the driver pot for the season. So thank you so much for such generosity there. So looking at the classified results from qualifying in the Saturday round 3 of Division B, we've got PHG Lead Pencil on pole position with that phenomenal 1.19.997. 6.5 tenths quicker than PHG. Slick in second position with Polias Pango in third position, who is 7,000th of a second separated between Slick and Polias Pango. Insane. Spawn then will qualify in fourth position on the second row with Polias Pango with that 1 minute 20.8. Then on row 3 we've got PHG Arrow and RTS Bandit, who will be starting alongside one another on row 3. Santa Miguel in P7 and PHG Horn of Plenty will start on row 4. On row 5, we have got BHR, Johnny Boy, and Old Man Pip for 9th and 10th position, respectively. On row 5, we've got P. Rosal and Parquet, who are going to be starting in P11 and P12, respectively. And then on row 7 on his own, it will be MD Hop. So yeah, best of luck to all the drivers ahead of this 23-lap race here at Dragon Trail Gardens. But yeah, Tati, what are your thoughts on qualifying there?
This lap is crazy. Just the gap between them. I don't see any other gaps anywhere near that large between any other two drivers on this track right now. So really a class above the rest. I think still, no matter how fast you are, it's going to come down to consistency and keeping it on the track. We are talking about a highly technical track with very tricky curves in a very low and sensitive car. It's anybody's race still.
Yes, indeed. One slip up and your race could be history. I've got to say, Pick, thank you again to Boba Gido for the $20 donation, saying donating in anticipation of some great racing and commentating today. We really appreciate that. Thank you for the kind compliment. And hopefully you are going to enjoy the race, because certainly this is a combo not to be sniffed at. This is a very tricky combo, and can't wait for this one. But thank you so much for that kind donation, as that also goes into the driver pot for the season. So okay, so we're just awaiting the drivers to line up for the race. But yeah, 23 laps at Dragon Trail Garden. So we got Lead Pencil and Slick on the front row. Crucial time for the Division B drivers as they seek their direction into the finals for next week. So we've got 5 red lights and away we go. And it looks like Lead Pencil's got a very good start ahead of Slick, who's going to have the inside line to Police Pango. Police Pango is going to be shown the outside line. Is he going to be able to hold it on the outside? He does, but Slick does take that position away from him as it's Slick in front of Police Pango, in front of Spawn, in front of Arrow. It looks like there might have been a tangle in the background as looked like we went 3 abreast in the background, but couldn't quite see the background. Looks like Spawn has become a cropper in all that, though, as we look on board with the replay now, as we went through the chicane, and it was all over the... Oh, no, not for the first time. Spawn seems to slide out on his own before even getting to the exit of the chicane, and he's lost out about 9 positions to move down into P13, TKs.
Yeah, indeed. And I would think after what happened in qualifying, he may have decided to switch on the traction control a little bit, because clearly in those low speed corners he's struggling to get on the power, and in these cars they're high downforce, so they have a lot of grip when you're going fast, but when you're going slow they have very little grip. And you can see most of these drivers do have some type of driving assist traction control turned on.
Yeah, high downforce cars, but because of... it looks like Arrow's going to try one up the inside for turn number 1 then. And can he make it stick? It looks like he does, and moves up into second position ahead of Slick then, who is on the soft tyres. In fact, Slick is on the medium tyres, so that is why Arrow had the overspeed going into the chicane. So Slick wisely lets Arrow through, and doesn't lose too much ground in third position. But so far, Tati, how's it looking on your end?
What? Okay, now we've had some drama. You guys already did see Spawn spin out of fourth place rather, to go 13th, but P. Rosal's also been having a terrible time. We've seen a couple of spins. Both of them have hit to fix damage, so they're P. Rosal's 17.7 seconds behind Parquet.
Oh, wow. That's quite the deficit already. Oh, and Santa Miguel goes a little bit wide out of this iconic quadruple right-hander through Dragon Trail Gardens. Looks like Johnny Boy didn't get the best exit either. It looks like MD Hop is going to take full advantage as he slips down what will be the outside. In fact, made it look very easy up into 8th position. Johnny Boy down into 9th position with it looked like, I think it was Old Man Pit just behind him as well in 10th position. But MD Hop has now got the slipstream over Santa Miguel. Will he pull to the inside? Yes, he does, but Santa Miguel will close the door on him for the time being. But very, very close between Horn of Plenty, Santa Miguel and MD Hop as we come into the chicane now. And so far, so good for the trio. MD Hop a little bit slow on the exit, though, as Johnny Boy closes the gap on him. But Horn of Plenty and Santa Miguel side by side. Santa Miguel has got the inside line, and if he has timed his braking to perfection, he will execute it with and move up into 6th position as he just hung off the Horn of Plenty as he goes onto the grass. Not the ideal line for this sequence of corners. And of course, he has got a train of cars just behind him looking to take full advantage and take that place away from him as we go into the quadruple right-hander. It was Old Man Pip that's in 10th position there. He's got a fast approaching Parquet just behind him as well in P11. But yeah, there is certainly a 5-way battle for 6th position at the moment, TKs.
Yeah, indeed. I'm super impressed with these drivers' ability to go as fast as they're going and be as close to each other as they are. We talked about the dirty air, and they're able to, stick it out close. I thought we'd have a little more of a gap, but this is playing out really exciting to see.
Yes, indeed, as I forgot to unmute myself there. So, Parquet not too far behind Old Man Pip as well. So, should there be any commotion in front, then Parquet will be full in the mix. But yeah, as mentioned, Tati, P. Rosal at the back of the grid at the moment. P13 for him. He is 1 second behind Spawn right now. And they'll be looking to be as consistent as possible and get themselves back in the race. Definitely for P. Rosal, he really needs to plough on forward if he is to survive into the finals for next week, as he is 23rd overall. He got a P13, so not a very good race from the last round. He really needs a victory in this one if he's got any chance of progressing, but not looking good so far for him. But we've certainly got a fascinating battle for the lead of the race, and certainly for P2 as well as for P3, because PSG Arrow is currently just a half a second in front of Pango, and Bandit for Company as well in 5th position. So certainly very, very tight. Nearly a bit of a contentious moment between the two drivers. It does look like they're going to be side by side as we come down the back straight. It is Polaris Pango on the inside, but Bandit has the outside line. But Bandit's got a nose in front, but if Polaris Pango can top braking right, he will hold on to that 4th position, with Bandit having to concede down into 5th position again. Tattoo.
Yeah, show it to that battle. Had to see it myself. It's scary going into that hairpin side by side, but it does come down to who gets the braking right and who can get on the throttle quicker without spinning the wheels up. Good job, Arrow, to keep that.
Yeah, it looked like Bandit sort of showed a nose on the inside, and Pango at the last minute had to sort of swerve out of the way and stay wide. That's what it looked like from there. But Pango did a really good job of giving the space and defended hard as well, but cleanly to hold on to that 4th position. But at the moment,
I meant, by the way, I think I called him Arrow. I apologize.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, no harm done for the time being, as they are about a second adrift of each other. Arrow to Pango, from Pango to Bandit as well, as we go through the chicane for the 6th time of asking, and it's as clean as you like through the chicane. But any other battles going on at the moment, Tati?
No battles that I can see, so really I'm just watching Spawn bring the time down to MD Hop, because obviously he's got to fight uphill now. It was 11 seconds last I checked before you guys got into that battle with Pelias Pango there, and now it's 8.5. Oh, right. Now it's 7.5. Spawn is on a tear, y'all.
Well, there is a midfield battle going on actually as we get on board with Parquet. Again, Parquet being one of them drivers that really needs a positive result here. He to auto clinch a final into the a position into the final. So he does need to beat PHG Arrow by 6 points. He is currently 16th overall, so he's just inside the drop zone at the moment. But yeah, 11th in at Monza, not the best result for him, and I do believe he did pick up a penalty for causing a collision as well, so he really needs to make amends in the final round of this group stage. Currently in 9th position, which I don't think is going to be good enough for him, so he really does need to raise some positions and hope for mistakes in front of him as well, I think, if he's got any chance of moving into the finals next week. But he has got a certain old man pit behind him as well, who's not going to make life easy for him in a 10th position, just half a second behind and fully in that slipstream down the back straight right now. So yeah, we'll see how they get on, but they are a line astern right now as they come through the hairpin and look to go through sector 2 through the very technical section of Dragon Trail Gardens. It's very important to get your lines right through here with a few obstacles in their way should they get it wrong, particularly this quadruple right-hander as well. Very easy to lose traction and go wide, but safely navigated by the trio of drivers there. So we will go back on board with the top 3 then, as PHG Arrow has separated himself to Pango by a second of a second. So they are starting to spread out a little bit, but Arrow, interestingly, on them racing soft tyres. So the tyre deg on them tyres at the moment, roughly about halfway here. So this is the kind of pit window where they may come in or maybe extend the life of the tyres by a couple of more laps, but it's just dependent really if there's going to be any rain. But so far, TK's, it's looking like a clear evening.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you can see the stars in the sky. There's a little bit of clouds over the water, but inland it looks very, very clear. And you know, these guys on the softs, they got to make a decision. I mean, they can see the radar, but make a decision as to whether or not to go on the mediums or the softs, and make it a 2-stopper or a 1-stopper.
Yes, indeed, yeah. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one, and certainly one that's probably... the penalty goes wide, and that... What I mentioned earlier about the lines being very important going through the quadruple right-hander, Horn of Plenty became a victim of that and lost out on 2 positions then, moves down from P8 to P10, Parquet now up to P8 and Old Man Pip up into P9, Tassie.
Just saw that. Actually, that was the second positional change that happened in that battle there. Johnny Boy jumped up in front for 7th place. I think Parquet had an issue into the hairpin, it seemed like. But up front, by the way, Lead Pencil is pitted. Our leader's pitted. He's sitting in 5th place now with a fresh set of softs on. But I think those skies are looking clear even to the racers. Nothing on the radar.
Right, okay. So, yeah, it's looking quite apparent then. Those that have decided to go on the soft tyres may well be a 2-stopper just using the soft tyres. It could be like 8 laps, 7 laps, 8 laps, perhaps. I'm not sure. Yeah, and I'd imagine the drivers on the mediums will just do the 1-stopper and get 12 laps and 11 laps on the mediums. So we'll see how they get on, but Parquet doing a good job so far then. He's making progress up the field, and of course, at this stage of the race as well, this is where the medium tyres do really come into play, because as them soft tyres start to wear out, the car does like to understeer quite a margin, so they would be losing time to the medium runners at this stage. Lead Pencil, oh yes, so Lead Pencil up the inside of a Bandit, already made his pit stop on the soft tyres then, so moves up into 4th position, and look how much he's pulling away from RTS Bandit through the chicane there. I mean, they were neck and neck about 2 corners ago, but 1.2 seconds is the gap already, with Santa Miguel up into 6th position now, of course using them medium tyres as well, so he's starting to close that gap to RTS Bandit, who is just a couple of car lengths in front of him, with Parquet now catching up with Johnny Boy. Same situation, a couple of car lengths away, 5/10 of a second behind, trying to battle for that 7th position. In fact, it's closing, because they are nearly bumper to bumper as we come through the technical section, and certainly bumper to bumper between PSG Arrow and Polaris Pango, battling out for that 2nd position, TKs.
Yeah, indeed, this is really exciting, seeing these medium tires come to life while some of the soft runners are struggling. And it really, I mean, I think Lead Pencil is playing it as safe as possible, not putting any risk on running on the worn softs, getting off them quickly, and we saw how quickly he was able to get by people, as he's now in P4, half a second away from P3 here. So I think Lead playing it safe and doing a potential 2-stopper on and just running the softs is working out. He's got the pace to do it.
Yeah, I think using them soft tyres in their optimal conditions is the way forward, as he looks like he's going to slingshot his way past Polaris Pango into 3rd position for the hairpin, then has the inside line. He has that better traction as well, and Polaris Pango just letting him through, getting on with his race, which probably will be with PSG Arrow. Lead Pencil though already to the back of PSG Arrow, trying to duke it out with him to grab that P2, although won't be able to make the move through the quadruple right-hander. I was going to eat my words there, because I thought he was going to get through there, but PSG Arrow closes the door on him for the time being. But I think it's only a matter of time that Lead Pencil will make the move on PSG Arrow, Tattoo.
Yeah, I think it's just biding his time. He was slowed down a little bit coming out of the pits, but as soon as he got those tires warm, as you saw, he's pulled right on up into this podium battle rather. An interesting little tidbit here. MD Hop pitted off the mediums onto the softs. Feels too soon for a medium pit. So I'm curious to see what that gets him, what that nets him. Maybe he just felt like the medium was too slow.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. Or if he's expecting rain, maybe he did enough practice to where he's pretty confident there's rain, get off the mediums and onto a quicker tire, and then knowing he's going to pit one more time for some intermediate. Yeah.
Well, Lead Pencil's up the inside of PHG Arrow to move up into 2nd position, then made it look very, very easy as Spawn comes into the pits from 13th position on them worn soft tyres.
With damage.
With damage, yes. We're going to look on board with the replay now. It looks like he's made a big mistake here as he came through the left-hander. Oh, he gets all over the outside curb, and he loses control of that car. And, well, lucky that he didn't pick up more damage from that, but certainly that has... I think that's ruined his race, because he's in 13th position. He's just made that pit stop as, it looks like Parquet and Johnny Boy are duking it out for that 7th position. Not 100% sure if Parquet's just made the move on Johnny Boy there. But they are very, very close in proximity of each other. Johnny Boy with pretty worn medium tyres. Them medium tyres are not going to feel good at the moment. So yeah, it's not... looking too good for Johnny Boy, and I'm quite surprised he didn't go into the pit lane. So I feel like he's losing time here.
Yeah.
Surely he's not trying the no stopper here.
No, can't be.
Yeah,
By the way, I think Spawn is betting no rain, because he got out of the pits after fixing that damage, and he came out on mediums. I think he's going to try to go the rest of the race.
Okay. I mean, the only other strategy I was thinking with Johnny Boy was maybe he was thinking of the medium soft strategy, perhaps. I think that is costing him time as we look on board of the replay with P3 and P4, Blights Pango and
Arrow.
Was it Arrow, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry. Oh, contact with Bandit though. It looks like Bandit shoveled Arrow wide, and Arrow was the one to lose out there. Lucky he didn't pick up damage there, but he certainly lost the position and damage limitations. But yeah, PHG Arrow down into P5 with Santa Miguel all over the back of him as the darkness ascends on us now. And this is where it brings a whole different race dynamic to us now, as it looks like Santa Miguel is going to slingshot his way past PHG Arrow to move up into P5. So Arrow losing 2 positions in 1 lap. I do feel like maybe the stewards will be having a look at that particular incident, because Bandit, yeah, a little bit contentious, I think. But so far, Bandit into 4th position, who is just 1.3 seconds behind Pelias Pango in 3rd position. So yeah, he's definitely grabbed the advantage there for sure. Will he be able to battle for that 3rd position in the coming laps, Tati?
You're asking if Pelias Pango will be able to battle for it, or if
Bandit.
Well, I mean, I don't think he has a choice, right? He's got to play on, especially depending on what the stewards come up with regarding that other incident. He's at this point, he needs to pick up everything that he can pick up. So yeah, fight for it.
Yeah. Well, his tyres are looking a little bit worse for wear, so again, he might be doing the medium soft strategy. Is it's Slick that comes into the pits from the race lead then on them medium tyres. So it looks like a lot of the drivers are selecting the medium soft strategy, TKs.
Yeah, it's looking like that. I'm actually really surprised that Arrow went as he hops into the pits now, went as long as he did on those softs. I think a lot of drivers are wanting to do just a 1 stop, but as we're seeing with PHG Lead Pencil, he's clearly on a 2-stopper, and he's already back into 1st. So assuming after he makes his 2nd pit stop, he's able to fight back through the field as cleanly as he did in this 2nd stint, the 2-stop seems to be the way to go, just because of how much time those drivers were losing on those worn tires.
Yeah, I don't know. That has kind of surprised me, especially with the fuel not really being an issue in this race as well. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise for me, but certainly no surprise to me at the moment is Lead Pencil, who is got quite a comfortable lead then at the top of the grid. 6.3 seconds is the lead over Pelias Pango. And to be honest, if Lead Pencil stays where he is, he will easily secure his pathway to the finals next week, with Pelias Pango as well looking like his future is secured as well. Santa Miguel, though, making good progress in 4th position. Well, I said he's making good progress, but he is 4.7 seconds adrift of Bandit, who's moved up into 3rd position because of that pit stop from PHG Slick. But yeah, Santa Miguel really does need to, well, he needs a race win. He needs a race win. So even if he does land a podium with PHG Slick, just hitting the rear bumper of Santa Miguel as they came out of the chicane there, visibility is going to be quite difficult for the drivers now that the lights have dimmed down and it's pretty dark out there on circuit. But yeah, lucky not to pick up damage there, because that looked like quite the shunt. But yeah, Santa Miguel, yeah, at the moment, he really needs at least another couple of positions, if not the race win. So at the moment, it's to no avail, I think, but 7 laps to go. Still, anything can happen as we come through the quadruple right-hander now.
Arrow is... Sorry, go ahead.
Santa Miguel goes wide, sorry, and Slick up the inside. He should. Well, I was going to say he should take the position away, but Santa Miguel has got that inside line, so he's going to be defending for his life. Slick will have to try it around the outside. There was a tiny bit of contact between the 2 drivers, but Santa Miguel will hold on to... Slick has got a nose in front, but he's got the outside line for turn 1. But now Santa Miguel dives into that slipstream. Will he dive down the inside? No. Slick takes that P3 away from him, moves up into a podium position. Sorry, Tati.
Fine. Interesting thing, Arrow's on the inters. However, I thought maybe rain was coming. However, Pango just pitted and put on the softs. So what is the truth? Did Arrow just make a huge mistake? A lot of people need to beat Arrow to get into this final. And he's on a tire that's going to wear out.
Yeah.
MD Hop down the inside of Old Man Pip as well, moves up into 9th position. And it looks like MD Hop has definitely got a lot more speed over PSG Arrow. As you mentioned, Tati, Arrow on the intermediate tyres, and certainly at the moment it's not looking like the right tyre. But as it's so dark out there, I can't see if the clouds are coming in. Oh, MD Hop nearly tried to go for a lunge down the inside line, but PSG Arrow went a bit squirrely on the exit, and MD Hop with the extra traction moves up into 8th position. Old Man Pip is looking to follow suit as well, 10th position for him, but he is all over the back bumper of PSG Arrow, and surely it's just a matter of time before Old Man Pip takes that 9th position away from Arrow, as he's really struggling for control of that car through the technical section of the corners. And PSG Arrow looks like he is holding up Old Man Pip as he gets a little bit frustrated just behind him, as we see Lead Pencil come into the pits from the race lead. But a little bit of contact between Old Man Pip and Arrow as he left the door open. Old Man Pip went down the inside through the door, and it looks like he will take that 9th position away from Arrow, although he's got a nose in front, and in fact he sweeps in front of him to hold on to 8th position ahead of Old Pip in 9th. TKs.
Yeah, this is I'm amazed Arrow's been able to hold them off. He's making that Lexus really wide out there, being on a much slower tire. Unbelievable to see. And Lead Pencil had a free pit stop. He pitted when in first place and came out in first place. So he has absolutely nailed the strategy.
Yeah, there can't be rain coming. Lead's pit was to the softs. Other people pitted after him and got on softs as well. Bandit, I think, forgot to change tires. So he came out on worn, I think, mediums. Gotta hate that. Maybe he just took a splash. I don't know what happened there.
Well, certainly this is going to throw a spanner in the works, because PSG Arrow, he's losing all types of traction as Old Man Pip gets much better traction down the inside into 8th position. This is really hurting PSG Arrow, because he definitely needed at least a 6th position to secure his route to the finals. Now down in P9 and under all types of pressure now from BHR. Johnny Boy in 10th position as RTS Bandit comes in from 6th position on their medium tyres. That seems like a very late stop from RTS Bandit on their medium tyres. Is he picked too late?
His tires. He forgot to change his tires. He had to go back in.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, that's certainly hurt Bandit then, who's down into 7th position. Old Man Pip, though, is now in 8th position and closing that gap to about a second as Bandit tries to warm up them soft tyres. Can Old Man Pip get into that slipstream range and try to challenge him, who is on the inferior tyres, of course, but it remains to be seen whether or not he can steal that 7th position away from Bandit. As we look on board with Slick, who goes a little bit wide out of the last corner there, and lucky he didn't lose control of that car, as the gap between him and Lead Pencil is 1.3 seconds. What's going on there, Tati?
Santa Miguel P5, he just had a spin coming out of the quadruple four there. The quadruple right-hander, rather.
Yep.
Bad time. Hit the wall. He's got damage. Big damage, too. Both front and rear arrow. Left front rear tire. Yeah. There it is.
Oh, no.
Bottomed out on that curb.
Those curbs. Yep.
Well, it was all or nothing for Santa Miguel, and unfortunately he gets nothing there as he moves down into 7th position. Very unlucky, but he's now got front aero and rear aero damage as Old Man Pip down the inside. Is he going to take that position away from him? Gives him that space on the outside. Looks like Old Man Pip is going to take that inside line. And BHR Johnny Boy as well, who moves up into P8 ahead of Santa Miguel as the rain comes.
No way! No way!
Oh, fantastic.
Wow, so is this Arrow saving grace? I don't know. It looked like a bit of a sharp shower there, and it looks like parts of the circuit it's not actually raining. So it remains to be seen how long this shower is going to last and whether or not it's going to be wet enough for the intermediates and too wet for the slick tires. But at the moment it is on the knife edge right now as RTS Bandit looks to challenge MD Hop position, and MD Hop going to go very defensive into the penultimate corner. Oh, it goes with wide. Bandit up the inside with the old switcheroo into P5, and what a great move from RTS Bandit, who takes full advantage. But MD Hop goes into the pits then to maybe change onto the intermediate tyres. Bandit is going to take a risk now and stay on the slick tyres. So what are your thoughts on this, CK? Oh no, as Lead Pencil picks up a 3-second penalty then, and Slick with the race lead, 1.1 seconds. Looks like Slick is going to, well, with 3 laps remaining, Slick in a very, very good position as Lead Pencil could sink down a position here, TKs.
Yeah, indeed. Slick is already ahead of Lead Pencil. Lead Pencil with a 3-second penalty. Pelias 4 seconds back. The only driver who didn't pit for inters is Bandit. So if Bandit can stick it out, they're going to gain several positions, or they already have gained a position. So if they can stick this out, it's going to be really impressive.
By the way, when the rain came, P. Roswell and Hornet Plenty were already on inters. I checked everyone. They knew.
It's raining hard again in certain corners, particularly the hairpin, and the driver's really struggling for traction out of the exit there. But Old Man Pip did actually just pip Johnny Boy to that 8th position to claim that position away from him. Yeah, it looks like a few of the drivers are struggling, but Pelias Pango deciding to use the intermediate tyres then. As you can see, a wall of spray from Lead Pencil's car in 2nd position. So it's looking like Lead Pencil did serve that 3-second penalty, but able to hold off Pango for the time being with a lead of about half a second. But we've got Santa Miguel on the wet tyres. It seems it goes a little bit wide of the quadruple right-hander, and is just trying to hold off all the plenty, really closing that gap as the shower comes in again. And it's definitely intermediate weather out there as Bandit comes into the pits then, and the gamble wasn't worth the risk as he's lost a couple of positions and down into 9th position, Tati.
This is throwing a real wrench in the works for a lot of people here. I mean, Arrow seemed to be on it. Maybe he just jumped too soon because his inters are very worn, but he did not have to pit. He's inherited 5th place and just has to keep it on the track at this point. Some others knew early on, like I said, Hornet Plenty and P. Roswell, they didn't end up gaining anything out of already being on the inters, unfortunately. But everyone else, as you can see, shuffled up. This is crazy. I love it.
Yeah. It is crazy, and this means a lot to a lot of the drivers out there as well, as every position does matter. Luckily for Old Man Pip, it looks like he may have sealed his fate into qualifying into the final with that 7th position, but we'll have to wait and see, because MD Hop at the moment P6, it's not going to be good enough for him. He needs a race win at least, I think. So MD Hop will be praying that there'll be heavier rain and mistakes from the 5 drivers in front of him. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen at all. Old Man Pip goes a bit scribbly on the final turn of lap number 22, but he's able to keep it in a straight line and try to duke it out with MD Hop on the final lap of this division. But it's MD Hop goes a little bit deep, gets on the anchors, and Old Man Pip had to get on the anchors, and now he loses the position to Johnny Boy, who slips down the inside to move up into 7th position. Old Man Pip down into 8th. So we are now in the full wet category as the sharp showers have really accumulated big puddles on the circuit. So this is going to be very, very tricky conditions for the drivers as they really struggle for that traction. MD Hop is just a hair's breadth. Oh, he loses control of the car. Johnny Boy up the inside to move up into P6, and Old Man Pip with the overspeed up into P7. So, it's contact between Old Man Pip and Johnny Boy through the left-hander. And that has caused a bit of damage to Old Man Pip's car and probably to Johnny Boy's car as Slick comes across the line to win the Division B Round 3 at Dragon Trail Gardens. Police Pango is going to come across the line in P2 and Lead Pencil grabs another podium to finish in third position. Also with front aero damage with PSG Arrow securing P5 just in front of Johnny Boy in P6 and MD. Oh no, sorry, this is the penultimate. Yeah, sorry, I got confused. Johnny Boy up the inside of PSG Arrow as he loses traction on the outside and loses the position down to P6. So Johnny Boy is going to finish in P5, Arrow in P6, MD Hop in P7, and Old Man Pip for 8th position with RTS Bandit looking like he's going to secure 9th position for him in a topsy-turvy race for him. PSG Horn of Plenty is going to finish in 10th position. Santa Miguel with a valiant effort, but in the end only could claim 11th position, and P. Russell will claim 12th position. So, yeah, very, very topsy-turvy and very interesting race, TKs. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, very interesting indeed. We had people who we thought were geniuses, and then we thought were morons, and then they turned out to be genius. It's all over the place. I am very curious to find out what happened to Led as he was leading and then fell behind Slick, and then also got passed by Polias there at the end.
Yeah, very. We're definitely going to have to get the thoughts of Lead Pencil, the top 3 drivers. Their thoughts coming up shortly, but let's quickly look at the provisional race results. I do suspect there will be a few stewards' inquiries involved in this one for sure, but it looks like Slick then grabs his first victory of the season, who finishes 5.6 seconds ahead of Polias Pango, who claims his second position of the season. And PHG Lead Pencil claims his second P3 of the season. All 3 drivers will have secured their passage to the finals next week. Then it's a P4 for Parquet, who needed at least a P4. So we'll wait and see whether or not that's good enough to secure his passage to the finals. BHR Johnny Boy finishes in P5. It's going to be touch and go whether or not that's good enough for him. PSG Arrow finishes in 6th position. Again, it's going to be touch and go for him. MD Hop finishes in P7. I suspect that's not going to be good enough for him, with Old Man Pip finishing in 8th position. In 9th, it was, in the end, RTS Bandits, who I think has already qualified. PhD Horn of Plenty. Yeah, it's not looking likely, but we will check on the standings at the end of the broadcast. Santa Miguel, unfortunately, not good enough for him. He finishes in 11th position, with P. Rosal finishing in 12th position. He'll be saying his farewells in the NRL for this season. And then 13th position to Spawn, who I didn't even recognise that he disconnected from the lobby. He gets a DNF and finishes P13. So yeah, Tati, what are your thoughts on the race itself as well?
You know, rain is a great equalizer, and I think this time I don't think rain was an equalizer. I think it was just chaos. I mean, Parquet started this thing at 12th, guys. Mm-hmm. He ended up 4th place. Lead Pencil, of course, dominating the race until he came out, got a penalty. TK's, I think the only place you can get 3 seconds is touching the line. So he must have touched the pit out line when he pitted for the Inters. No idea how this race was going to end. Wow.
Yeah, it was certainly a wow moment. But yeah, we are going to interview the top 3 drivers now and get their thoughts. So first up, we have got PHG Lead Pencil, who finished in 3rd position. Congratulations to you, Lead Pencil. How are you feeling after that?
Well, it was when I saw. I was looking at the rain, or the radar rather, and my heart went crazy when the rain just started to come down. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, because there was nothing on the radar when I pitted at lap 16. Not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I'm disappointed because if I'm being honest, I had the pace to take this home, and man, I made some unforced errors at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely had the pace today. I mean, obviously, it was a phenomenal qualifying session from you. I mean, I think it was like 0.6 of a second in front of your nearest rival. So, yeah, you mentioned obviously the rain came in. You made a few mistakes. Tell us what happened there.
Well, so my plan was always to go 3 stints on the soft, so 2 pit stops. The numbers worked out that was faster even than just 1 pit stop. But I was trying, if I could, I wanted to try and make that second pit stop onto the inters if there was rain, so I didn't have to pit another time. But that didn't work out, and so I just ended up. It was hard to see, and when I went in to go to get the inters on, after I crossed the line, I saw it on my screen that I went over it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I got a 3-second pen. And what you may not realize is I added fuel when I didn't need to either. Just the stupidest thing, which is why Slick ended up in front of me coming out of the pits, because he was behind me at that point. So yeah, that was a rough end. I'm not going to lie. And then, of course, spinning on the final turn on the straight and losing second position.
Okay, that explains that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I slid right on the curbing. I thought I had it straight. I thought I was good, and then bam, went right into the wall.
Oh, damn! That is unlucky. Yeah, we didn't catch that, unfortunately. So yeah, very unfortunate. Very unlucky to you. T-Case, have you got any questions?
Lad, you had, aside from those last little errors, you had an incredible race, man. Great job. I want to focus on the positive. I mean, you had a blistering qualifying time. Is that the fastest time you were able to do in practice, or had you been in the 119s before?
No, that was the first 19 I ever put up.
Wow.
It came at the right time. And I guess I was still, I've been practicing since Sunday, and almost every practice session, I was feeling like, oh, you know what? There's a little more time here, I think. And I would try different things. And honestly, turn 1 and the 3 right-handers in a row, I think that's where I ended up really making some changes on my approach. And so I was getting some low 120s in practice, but that is the first 119 that I ever had. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting when the pressure's on and you're able to deliver like that in qualifying. Great job, man.
Thanks, bud.
And Tessie, any thoughts, questions? You might be on mute.
Yeah, not hearing anything.
No questions really. Honestly, you answered most of them in your long explanation of what was going on to Flawed. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the effort that you put in. Honestly, you had it. Like you said, just a few unforced errors there. It happens to anybody, and we will hopefully see you next season. Because I think you deserve a championship here.
Next season, did I not make it?
I think you may have.
You might have actually. It's all to play. Honestly, I think on our calculation. Did you clinch? Okay, you've clinched. You're good. Never mind.
Okay. All right, thank you. Goodness gracious, you're scaring me there.
I guess the data I have isn't fully up to date. It said you needed 18 points to clinch.
I knew by McNaughty's, he did the math, and he said I needed 18 points to definitely get in. So I got 15 for third, right?
Yeah,
So
15th to 3rd.
that should be that's pretty close. I was thinking I was gonna see y'all next week somewhere on the grid.
Well, now we know we will.
Okay, all right, great to hear. I will look forward to it, and I want to give a quick congratulations to Slick and Pango. They ran an awesome race. It's a great job by them. I look forward to the next race with them.
Yeah, Lead Pencil, congratulations on P3. To be honest, my predictions is a little bit different to Minolti. Obviously, it is a prediction, but I said that you needed an 8th position. Obviously, you got 3rd, so you should be easily through. And obviously just confirmed as well with the clincher. So, so yeah, no need to worry.
Fantastic, awesome guys.
Man, I'm like never mind. No one talk to me anymore.
Just don't scare me like that, okay, Tati? No more of that.
I feel terrible. I do.
But no, congratulations to you, Lead Pencil, and look forward to seeing how you get on in the final next week. And obviously stick around for the preview of what's coming up for you.
Yeah, should be. I'm excited. It's getting right on it right away. This is how we work, right? On to the next one. Get prepared for the next one. It's quite the schedule NRL puts out for us. It's awesome.
I like the attitude. But yeah, congratulations, and look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and on to our second place finisher, and not for the first time actually. BHR Polias Pango, congratulations to you on a great performance. How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
There.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually, because in relation to what Lead Pencil said, it was looking like it was going to be a dry race throughout, and then all of a sudden the downpour came. We didn't know how much it was going to rain. Was it going to be enough for the inters or the wet tyres, or was it just going to be a short downpour and onto the slicks? But what was your thoughts as the rain started coming in?
I didn't actually realize it was going to rain until I actually heard it. I kind of led. I checked the radar and it's like, no rain, so it's probably going to be dry. And going into the Four Corners, I heard the rain. It's oh damn, it's actually raining.
Yeah, because we was kind of commenting on I think it was Arrow, wasn't it? PHG Arrow. It looked like he went on to the intermediates very, very early, and we was like, surely he's dropped a clanger here, as everyone was on the slick tyres. But then, of course, the rain did come. I still think he pitted a little bit early, but in saying that, it was a stroke of genius in the end. So yeah, it certainly made it very nervous towards the end. But well done on a great performance. Tati, have you got any questions at all?
Yeah, I mean, Pango, you had a great race. We saw you in some battles, and saw you put down some really fast laps. And even with the rain catching you by surprise, you were still able to get second place. I feel like this must be a track that you're really great at. Have you done this? Like, have you raced GR2s here before?
I have not. I don't really do GR3s, more of my thing, but I had a little bit of experience in GR3 doing I believe it was like a 3-hour endurance.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a little bit of practice and knowledge there and applied it to Group 2.
Man, it showed. Congratulations on a huge finish, and we can't wait to see you.
Thank you.
Yep.
And TK, so your thoughts and questions?
Yeah, Polias, great job, man, making the Beehive Racing team look real good out there. I'm curious, did you have one strategy going into this, or were you kind of playing it by ear? Obviously, the rain caught everybody off guard, but as far as your strategy goes, what were you thinking going into this race?
I was originally thinking of like a 2-stop kind of similar to lead, but in some practice sessions, I was getting the rain coming in around lap 17 or 18. And that's about as far as I'd be able to stretch the mediums. So checking the weather, seeing like no rain, I was kind of on the assumption that it'll probably either rain super late around that time, or it's going to be a dry race. So just to be safe, start on mediums and then pick this off or inters when the rain did come.
Awesome. Well, it played out well. Very good job, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and finally, as well, Pelias Pango, I need to ask you this because obviously you know that you've safely qualified to the finals. You've had a P1 and 2 second positions. So, how are you feeling ahead of the final? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling confident for the final?
Pretty good. Just looking forward to whatever the combo is going to be. Going in, I knew it was probably going to be a top 5 for starting qualifying, but I think today was more in play in terms of like words, so like row 1, row 2.
Okay, well, best of luck for next week, and obviously hope it's a combo that you like. I know McNulty likes to make things quite challenging, particularly for the final. So hopefully it's something that you can get used to. But congratulations on the second position, and look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
You guys take care.
Thank you, Pelias. Take care, mate. And on to our race winner, his first victory of the season. Congratulations, Slick. How are you feeling after that? Slick, you might be muted. Oh, we might be having some technical problems here. Be nice to... Hopefully we can sort out this technical issue at the moment. We're just struggling to hear Slick at the moment, but we would like to congratulate him for the race victory, if possible.
First one is important.
Yes, indeed. We want you to have your moment, Slick. It's looking like these technical issues are not quite working out here. We'll give you a little bit more time, Slick, if you need it. But yeah, we're struggling to hear from Slick at the moment, guys. Okay. Well, as we wait for Slick, yeah, I mean, it was a great performance from Slick. I'm so happy for him that he grabbed his first win of the season. Of course, he's secured his pathway to the final as well. Be interesting to see like how he gets on, particularly as he uses that VR TKs.
Yeah, indeed. Using the VR, depending on what the combo is, a lot of the times VR makes you faster if you can use it properly, but depending on what car you're in, sometimes it can be a little more difficult. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm really curious to know what was going through his head when all of a sudden he came out of the pits in first place when he entered the pits in second, as we heard from Led that he unintentionally took some fuel that caused him a track position there in the pit lane.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate actually. Yeah, because obviously we was sitting there puzzled, weren't we? We was like, surely, Lead Pencil had a healthy lead, and then all of a sudden we saw him a second behind, and of course Lead Pencil did explain to us having a few issues, putting on too much fuel, and also making the mistake at the end. So, yeah, we are still struggling to get hold of Slick. I've just seen in chat as well that Shaggy Doo said he can fill in.
Come on and speak to Slick.
Yeah. But yeah, what shall we do here? Okay, right. So it sounds like Slick is having a few issues in speaking to us, so we're going to have to postpone the interview for now. But yeah, Tati, what was your thoughts on the race today and the performances, more importantly, of the top 3 drivers as well?
Yeah, for sure. The race overall kind of happened the way we thought it would, which is that keeping it on track was a lot more important than being outright quick. And not that Led didn't keep it on track, but like someone like Spawn, who I believe qualified 4th, if I'm not mistaken, unable to keep it on track and unable to keep the momentum whenever he was able to pick up more positions after that. And then the rain coming, we talked about people practicing and not really knowing when or if the rain would even come. And it looks like it caught everyone by surprise. Even those who knew it was coming jumped too soon. As far as the top three goes, I have no idea how they were able to remain the top three. They shuffled up, of course, but staying at the top in a race like that it shows just insane speed and skill, and well deserved by those three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely for our entertainment, that is for sure, which we love to see. Okay, right. Well, we are going to go for a quick break. So grab yourself a beverage. And when we come back, the third round of Division A. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to the NRL, brought to you by Henke's Tavern and Little J CPA, our sponsors for season 5. We've managed to get in touch with our race winner from Division B, Slick. So congratulations, Slick, on that first victory of the season and securing your passage to the finals. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling awesome. It was a little bit frustrating trying to get in, but everything's working out. You guys are awesome. Whole thing's been awesome.
Well, we were so excited to get your post-race reaction. So, you know, we was holding on as long as we could, and I'm glad that we get to speak to you for you know, to get your reaction. But tell us a bit about your race, because of course that pencil was looking very fast during the race, but then all of a sudden we saw you in first position. So tell us about your strategy and how that kind of played out for you.
Well, I mean, Led's always fast, so knowing how fast he is, I wasn't going to try and push him and pass him. I was just going to let him do his thing and me race my race. The biggest thing I wanted to do is try and get the 15 laps out of the medium tires. And I thought the weather would roll in or it would stay dry. So seeing it was going to be dry, I did a little bit of fuel on that first pit stop. And then just thought I was going to run hard as I could for the softs.
So I'm not sure how much practice you put in, but I'm guessing you was pretty surprised sort of like how late the rain came in and how heavy it was.
I did. I ran, I think 3 or 4 races. I started about Wednesday, but I had done lots of practice laps, just not the races. And I actually got 3 out of the 4 were dry races.
Oh, okay.
So the other day I got my first wet race and definitely threw a cork in it. I wasn't sure to go intermediates, wets. I figured everything was going to be a last minute call.
I swear, I think Minolti's got like a switch where he just turns on the rain, you know, like manually. You know. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it certainly, it was a great performance from you, though, Slick. And, you know, you did what you needed to do. And, you know, once you took that race lead, you know, you held on to it and came home with the victory. So congratulations to you. TK, have you got any questions at all?
Great job, Slick. You performed. You were where you needed to be at the right place at the right time. Sounds like that fuel strategy really played off as well. I want to know what your thoughts were when you came out of the pits in first place.
Yeah, I was completely surprised. I knew I was coming out behind Led, and same thing. I was just gonna try and stay behind him. I wasn't gonna try and catch him. I just wanted to race my race. But when I seen I came out first, I wasn't exactly sure what happened there. I wasn't even sure if he was just waiting to see what the weather was going to do on it. I had no clue.
Wow, that is a pleasant surprise. And were you aware that he had a 3-second penalty? Could you see that?
I actually could hear you guys. I got you guys in the background because I'm on VR, so I can't see who runs what tires or anything when we're doing that.
Well, that's really smart of you to do that. That is, you know, VR has so many advantages. That's a small disadvantage, but when you have production in the background, you can stay informed. Congratulations, man.
Definitely. You guys are awesome, and you guys keep everyone well informed.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And we'll take the role as your spotter. That's, you know.
I think we're great spotters.
You definitely have.
Tati, have you got any thoughts and questions for our race winner?
Just a congratulations. What a great time to get your first win when you absolutely needed it or were close to needing it. Honestly, you must feel great. We're excited to see you at the finals.
Yeah, this has been an awesome experience. I haven't been playing that long, so it's been really awesome.
You're really fast for somebody who hasn't been playing that long.
Yeah, thanks to McNervy and T-Rex Arms are mostly for making all the racing fun on the days there we stream.
Nice. Yeah. Great teachers.
And T-Rex for making all my liveries for every race so far.
That is the most important thing, actually, is the race. The car liveries for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
So good.
That gains at least a second a lap, isn't it? I think. But there was one more question I wanted to ask. There was just one more question I wanted to ask, and it was just, because you are using a VR headset, I was just wondering, how difficult that was for you.
I can't race on the flat screen. I know everybody likes the bumper cams, and Led likes his old school cam there, but yeah, I just can't judge corners. I can't see how fast things are coming at me, even with the marker points. But when I put on the VR, first get in the game, yeah, it's a game changer.
Oh, definitely a game changer, yes, because that was a great performance from you. So congratulations on the race victory. Of course, you have secured your place into the finals. So stick around, wait for the preview of the finals race, and look forward to seeing you on track next week.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Slick.
Thanks for everything you guys do. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Take care, Slick. Bye-bye. Okay, all right, so I think it's now time to take a look at what's coming up for our last race today, the third and final round of Saturday Division A group stage. And I think people know where we're going with this one. We are staying in Europe, but this time we are in Western France at Sarthe, the home of the famous 24-hour Le Mans. There'll be a 15-minute qualifier ahead of a 9-lap race here in Le Mans, with a rolling start to kick things off for this race. Track length is a whopping 8.4 miles with a total of 33 turns in a clockwise direction. They'll be driving the Toyota GR10 Hybrid 2021 Group 1 car, which is a 3.5-litre turbocharged engine, 4-wheel drive with a max power of 670 brake horsepower at 7,800 RPM and weighing in at just 1,040 kilos. Balance of power is enabled with just a brake balance to be tweaked and mechanical damage set to heavy, tyre wear rate set to ×3 and a fuel consumption rate at ×4. Out of the racing slicks, only the soft tyres are available, but as the weatherman has predicted and what you can see on screen, this will be a washout from the beginning. Intermediates and wet tyres are at the driver's disposal and no tyre are required for this race. As per usual in the group stage, the points allocation is as follows. 25 points going to the race winner, 18 for second, 15 for third, and in sequential order down to 10th with 1 point. The driver with the fastest lap finishing in the top 10 will be rewarded with an additional bonus point, which could prove to be pivotal in their survival in the championship, as top 14 across both Friday and the Saturday heats combined on points at the end of today will secure their passage to the finals on Saturday, April the 26th. So the driver lineup for the Saturday Division A is as follows. We have Almost Podium, Bandit 1, Cyrus Nicky GT, Digital Relay, Belmora, GI Oku, Louise, MMR Moose, PHG Caper, PHG Lyric, PHG Salamander, PHG Shell Dologist, S7R Nuke, and finally we have WID. Please make sure you check out their streaming profiles applicable to them, as I'm sure they'll be streaming from their point of view. Making sure you keep a tab open for us in the NRL so you don't miss any of the racing action. So, Tati, we are at Le Mans. This is the Cathedral of Speed. What are your thoughts on this racing combo?
I mean, I'm before we even get to the race, like, I'm excited because even qualifying is going to be a mix between people on wets, people on inters, like the strategies, the necessity of being able to think ahead and see what you think you can do is going to make this race incredibly special. And it's Le Mans.
Exactly. My thoughts, indeed. And TK's as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. These are hybrid cars with battery deployment. So drivers figuring out how to maximize the power with that hybrid system is going to be really interesting to see.
It certainly is. And the drivers are just on their outlap now as we have got a 15-minute qualifier ahead of this 9-lap race at Le Mans. It's certainly looking like a big downpour out there. And I'd imagine, yes, most of the drivers will be starting on the wet tyres. So it's definitely unusual circumstances for the drivers. You don't often get wet qualifying, but at least it's like practice for the main event, right? So we'll see how they get on here, but possibly only got, I'd say, probably 2 chances to get a fast lap in. Depending on whether or not they just do the one stint or come back into the pits, change the tyres and go on to some new tyres. But the wet tyres, they don't tend to wear too much when it's like soaking wet like it is at the moment, TKs.
No, they don't. This is the optimal time to use the wet tire. When you're in that top third of the moisture meter, the color changes to a darker blue. That's really when you want to use the wet tire. And it doesn't wear too bad in these types of conditions, and the rain's going to keep them cool and keep them from degrading as quickly.
Yes, indeed. And I know that there are certain drivers out there that are not, or what they told me at least, not feeling too comfortable ahead of this race. And one driver in particular, we're on board with Moose 21, and look how much he's struggling with that car, trying to keep it going straight. He's just about managed to wrangle hold of that Group 1 car. But Moose, of course, has performed brilliantly throughout this season. He has had 2 second positions last time out at the Nürburgring GP. He is 5th position overall, and I think he is on YouTube right now, so you can check him out at Moose 2021. Yes, he has clinched his way into the finals as well, so the pressure is certainly off of Moose for this race, but we'll see whether or not he can grab a podium or he's going to really struggle. But there is a lot of drivers out there that really need some important points going into this one. So maybe it's an opportunity for the likes of Salamander, for example, who currently is P18 overall. So he is currently in the drop zone. And he will need a good result from this one if he is to secure his position. He did get a very, very good 5th position in the last round at Nürburgring, and one in particular, I mean, that last gasp effort actually from Cyrus Nicky, wasn't it, through the chicane, where he just took Salamander's position. But nevertheless, it was a great performance from him, and he'll be looking to do the same, I think, Tessie.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do? You've got to do, you have to make points, you have to make positions to clinch your space in this final race that we have coming up. So I expect Salamander to fight hard. He's not too far off of it. It's just, there's so much unpredictability at this track, even without the rain. Good luck to him and everyone else.
Yes, indeed. And the other thing, and a very important dynamic, is if you do pick up a penalty, it's quite a long lap to serve that penalty. There could be lots of corners where you could be cutting track limits, especially in these types of conditions as well. But one driver in particular we just saw there was Capert, that had a half a second penalty there. He'll be looking for at least a 5th position from this race. But we look on board with Felmora, his fellow countryman, who is currently P25 overall. So anything but a race victory is what he needs if he is to get into the finals for next week. But he grabbed a 10th position in the last race at Nürburgring GP. And the auto clinching scenario is that he needs to be almost podium by 14 points to mathematically secure his position for the finals. But yeah, certainly just needs a race win, I think. I think plain and simple. So we'll see how he gets on. But we have also got almost podium, another fellow countryman who's doing a little bit better. He is on the cusp of qualifying for the next round. He is P14 overall. He grabbed a very good 7th position, who I know Tati watched the final embers of the race where he just managed to hold off a few drivers to grab that 7th position. He does need to grab 25 points to mathematically secure his position, but I do believe that he probably needs I think a 5th. I think it'll be good enough for him if he grabs a 5th. So we'll see how he gets on. As well as Lyric, he also needs to get a good position. I think also he will need 5th or better if he is to progress further in this championship. But currently he is 3rd position with the fastest lap time of a 3-minute 58.783. Currently 2.1 seconds off of almost podium, who's not almost podium, he's on podium. He's on pole position. So we'll see if he can hold on to that in the qualifying session. We have got 6 minutes remaining, so a long way to go. But information on PHG Lyric is that yeah, he grabbed a P11. If I remember correctly, his tyres died on him, kind of picked the wrong strategy perhaps, and he is currently P11. So he's in that zone where he needs to qualify, but he just needs a decent result to really top up his position to really secure his passage to the finals. But I've worked out that he needs probably a 5th position. So we'll see how he gets on. But so far so good. He's currently in a 4th position so far, TKs.
Yeah, he's looking good, and I think that qualifying is going to kind of shape out like we saw last night at Suzuka, where the last driver across the line is going to be able to put in the fastest lap, as the drivers have gone from the wets, put in their banker laps, and now have switched to the intermediates. So the track's going to kind of dry out a little bit more, I think, and we'll see who has timed it right with their pit strategy to get the driest line possible.
Jump in here really quickly while you speak about pit strategy and point out a whole bunch of people get off the wets onto the inters before they could even get a banker lap in, including Wid, Boku, I think I saw Nuke do it, and somebody else.
Oh, wow.
Good observation there. Yeah, I was just seeing a few of the drivers there, yeah, on the intermediate tyres, and yeah, certainly this is the window where the intermediates come into their own and going to be faster than the wet tyres. So we'll see how much quicker these drivers do become, but of course it's a very risky strategy, I would say, where they've only got 1 lap to do it, really, haven't they? So we have got 4 minutes remaining. So yeah, certainly once they finish this out lap, then they've got 1 flying lap to try and secure somewhere up on the upper echelons of the leaderboard. But yeah, currently Wid in 8th position, then it's going to be all or nothing for him for sure. But of course Wid, we know, has already secured his place into the finals with 2 victories so far in this championship. So he is certainly the man to beat, but will he be the man to beat in the wet though, Tessie?
That's a good. And like I said, he didn't feel comfortable on the full wets and went to the intermediate. But the question is, okay, well, can you get it together in the lap and a half that you'll have to really get those tires warmed up and get a fast one in? We have not seen what it's like for anyone to have Wid behind them rather than in front of them for very long. So it'll be interesting to see how he does when he has to make passes.
Yeah, indeed. Well, you know, according to some of the drivers, Wid is unbeatable, but hey, at this place in these conditions, I think anything is possible. So we'll see as we ride on board with S7R Nuke, who is also one of them drivers that I think has just about secured his place into the finals, although he needs 3 points to mathematically clinch his place into the finals. He is actually on a flyer now, though. He is on the intermediate tyres, so we'll see how much quicker he's going to be here, because the current fastest lap time is a 3-minute 49 by almost podium. He's going to come across the line with a 3-minute 47.964.
Wow.
So quite a bit quicker on them intermediate tyres, and we'll see how the drivers behind him follow suit and see if they can beat his time, TKs.
Indeed, it's Cyrus Nicky by almost 3 seconds. We'll see him come across the line as he goes through the final chicane onto the straight. Looking good, looking smooth on the intermediates.
Wow.
Track is drying out, and wow, what a time.
There we go.
Dry line forming. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right, though. There is a dry line. Oh, no, weird. I mean, I don't know if I want to call that a commentator's curse, but he has picked up that half-a-second penalty. This lap is not going to count. So it's looking like 11th or worse for Wid at this stage, Tattoo.
Yeah, where's the penalty line on this one?
I think if it's
Do you
towards
remember?
the curves, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can still get the next lap okay.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't count. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, he'll serve it. Yeah, he'll serve the penalty, and so he'll just lose time with serving the penalty. If the penalty line was after the start finish, then that gets applied to the overall time. But he'll serve this penalty and still get a position, but it's gonna hurt him.
Oh, okay, I stand corrected then. I just automatically thought if they get a penalty, then it doesn't count as a valid lap. But okay, no, fair enough then. So he's got a half-a-second penalty then. We'll see how much that affects him, but he certainly does need to get a move on and try to... oh, God, that's G.I. Boku gets very squirrely and a little bit deep through the chicane there. That would have cost him a little bit of time, although he is 5.5 seconds up on current pole sitter Cyrus Nicky through that sector. So we'll see if we'll see how much time that's lost him, but certainly up until that point it was looking really good. And of course we know with G.I. Boku, anything other than a win is what is needed for him to progress to the next round. So he is actually 6.1 seconds up on current pole sitter Cyrus Nicky. It really just depends on the drivers in front and behind, really, how they're getting on. But certainly the track is drying out and it's starting to get a lot faster as well, as it is almost approaching sort of the dryish conditions, I guess. But Widdy's going to serve his penalty now, so we'll see how much time that would have lost him. Probably around about the second margin, I would say, but it just depends whether or not he was up in the other sectors to see how that rounds off. But yeah, it's certainly going to be tight though, and we are approaching the last sector of Le Mans. Or maybe the final two sectors really, as he comes through the Porsche curves and on to the or very close to the Ford chicanes for turn number 29 and approaching turn number 30. Just going past the pit lane and through the Ford chicanes now, through turns 32 and 33, and he's going to come across the line with a 3-minute 35.883, 2 seconds quicker than Moose. Nuke is not going to improve. Well, he's going to improve, but he's going to go up into P4, nowhere near Wid's time. Boku, he's going to set a 3-minute 38.1, which will be good enough for P4. Cyrus Nicky improved by 9.2 seconds and 600th of a second off of Wid's time to qualify in second position then. What a phenomenal lap from Wid, though. With that half-a-second penalty, still manages to get pole position. Absolutely crazy. Sheldologist coming around the final corner now. He'll set a 3-minute 39.315, 7.4 seconds up on his previous best, up into P5. Wow, that was some qualifying session, and I'm, blown away from Wid. Even though... he blows me away every single time because it's just absolutely phenomenal. But we're going to quickly read you through the classified results from Saturday round 3 qualifying. So with that phenomenal time, 3 minute 35.883, 600ths of a second quicker than Cyrus Nicky, who will be starting alongside him on row 1. Then on row 2 we've got Moose 21 and GI Boku starting from P3 and P4. Row 3 is going to be PHG Sheldologist and his teammate Lyric for P5 and P6. On row 4 is going to be S7R Nuke for P7. P8 is going to be Felmora. P9 is going to be Almost Podium, and starting alongside him on row 5 is PHG Salamander for P10. On row 6 we've got Digital Relay in P11, and starting alongside him is PHG Caper for 12th position. But what an absolutely mad qualifying that was. What are your thoughts, Tetty?
Yeah, that was, I didn't know who was going to put together a good lap because the lap is so long. So it really was waiting until people hit the line to find out they were going to do things like WID. But looking at these qualifying times, the mid pack is going to be crazy. A slew of 39s from 5th through 9th position, all of them within a second of one another.
And quick thoughts, TKs as well?
Yeah, I mean, incredible. So close between Cyrus, Nicky, and WID. Obviously, it wouldn't have been as close had WID not had that penalty, but really solid laps. And like Tati's saying, these laps are so long. You can make a mistake in one spot and make up for it in another. Excited to see how this race plays out and what kind of tire strategy and weather we're going to get.
Yes, indeed. It's certainly one that's going to be hard to predict. And one where the mistakes could catch out some of the drivers. Even though WID did make a mistake, he did qualify on pole position. It remains to be seen how much quicker he would have been had he have not picked up that penalty. So he's certainly a man to catch right now. But we'll see how the drivers get on and see if they get any luck, as we have a rolling start ahead of this 9-lap race here at Le Mans. So it is going to be WID that's going to lead us away ahead of Cyrus and Nicky, who looked very, very competitive in qualifying, with Moose in P3 and Boku in P4 as the lights go out and away we go. So, what's happened here? Okay, we've got a lobby bug, unfortunately. So we're going to have to restart and try again. So yeah, just as we wait for everything to get up and ready. TKs, how do you think this one's going to play out?
It's going to be interesting. I think fuel is definitely going to be a factor here. So the drivers are going to have to be strategic, how hard they push. And I think they're going to want to work together. If you can stay in the slipstream and maybe do a little bump drafting, that's going to benefit everyone. So it might be everybody kind of stays in line until towards the end of the race, and then we start seeing some moves unless something obvious opens up for them to make a pass.
Yeah, I mean, you make an interesting point, because obviously the spray from the car in front with the very wet conditions. I mean, Tati, would you be brave enough to sort of bump draft and kind of have that poor visibility from the car in front?
And I'm stupid, so yes. But would it be a good idea? I don't know. I'm not great at this track, so I generally take the approach of try everything. It's too long a lap to be super conservative, right? If you're going slow everywhere, you're very, very slow. So yeah, I'll send it. If a bump draft is needed and I can't see if the next corner is coming up, send it.
Yeah, that's where practice is really going to come into effect. You got to know where you are on the track, so that when you are tucked up behind another car, you know when to back out a little bit early with the extra speed you're carrying, especially into the two chicanes on the long straight there. Just backing out a little early and getting your braking zone, and then come out right on the back of them. If they can work together, I think it'll benefit, especially if Cyrus and WID can work together with the lap times they were putting in. I could see the two of them really pulling away.
Yeah, could well be the case. And at least they can actually see a little bit more, though, isn't it? At least it's daytime, not, nighttime like some of the races this weekend.
Yeah, last night was. I felt for those drivers at Suzuka because it was really dark. You definitely needed to make some monitor or screen setting adjustments to make it a little more visible. But yeah, it is going to be it's going to be hard to see around here as well, just not quite as dark. But this is also a funny track because it's not. While it's a super historic and old and famous track, it's not a traditional racetrack. Part of it is just roads with little chicanes put in the middle. So you don't have the same type of markers that you have on a traditional racetrack. And so you got to use trees or lines on the asphalt. And when it's wet like this, it makes it harder to see those things as well.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm sitting here and I'm not out on track because I would be absolutely terrified. That is for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about the fact that, yeah, you're right. A lot of my traditional markers are almost not visible here. You gotta, I guess, pick a building, something huge to be your braking marker. What an iconic, but yeah, incredibly difficult track. You would think with it being just, go fast. It's actually really technical.
Yes, it really is indeed. It looks like we have actually sorted out the grid and going to get underway for this 9-lap race in the final race of Division A in this group stage. So Weird is going to lead us away once again. Fingers crossed, no more problems as the lights go out and away we go. And there's Cyrus Nicky. There we go. Right, so Weird will lead us line astern through the Dunlop curve for turn number 3. And Cyrus Nicky goes deep. Oh, he goes very deep and wide. And there is a bit of a kerfuffle behind us. Moose comes up to the very back of Cyrus Nicky. That's really close. The gap between P2, 3 and 4 then. But of course, being as gingerly as possible, as we come through the corners right now, coming through to Tetre Rouge as well for turn number 8 then. And it's going to be a slipstream battle then as Cyrus Nicky will be pulling to the side then. Boku down the inside and draws alongside Cyrus Nicky into P3. Are they going to be bumping each other along or are they going to be overtaken? That is the question. I thought Cyrus Nicky was going to move Moose along. It looks like Boku has decided to do that to Moose. So Moose will stay in second position as we come through turns 10, 11 and 12. And Moose getting a very good exit though. Boku not so much as Cyrus Nicky gets stuck behind him in P4 with Lyric in close proximity of him in P5 and Sheldologist in P6. In fact, I think he may have lost the position. Didn't he start in P5? So I think he
did. Sheldologist started in P5.
Right, okay, thank you TK. So so he's down into P6, although there is a nice little gap to him and S7R Nuke in P7 and Filmora in 8th position. But they are as line astern as humanly possible. Sheldologist, of course, does need a really good result from this race. In fact, I think he may need a win to secure his position into the final next week. So quite a number of the drivers, I have to say, do need a win though. I do believe there's about 6 drivers that need a win if they've got any chance. So we'll see how they get on. One of them drivers is GI Boku, who's currently in 3rd position, having a much better time of it at Le Mans so far. He is 2 seconds adrift of Moose, and he has got a fast approach. Cyrus Nicky in 4th position as we come up to, I always forget the name of this turn. It is Arnage. Is it not Arnage?
Indy, this one's Arnage.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait,
thank you.
no. Where am I? Yes, I see where I am. Sorry, it's hard backwards. But yeah.
Yeah, Indianapolis and then Arnage for turns 21 and 22. Right, okay, got it. Lyric falls out of the slipstream, draws up alongside Cyrus Nicky then, and I think Lyric's got it will be the inside line for the next turn, so he sweeps in front of him to move up into fourth position then. Certainly very, very close between the third and eighth position, I think.
Moose, half-second penalty.
Oh,
P2.
Okay, so he's whereabouts does he cut it?
I didn't see it.
Curves?
I didn't see it happen, but I just went to him and saw the penalty.
It's so easy around here. The white lines are the track limits, and there's sometimes where it's the white line and then the curve is a little further out, and so you think you can run it, and then you end up cutting that track limit. I always find the track limits here very, very tricky.
Okay, nasty moment there for Moose. Lucky not to pick up damage there. Slight grazing of the wall, and certainly, Code Brown moment there, I think, from Moose. But he has then lost a bit of a gap to Weird. It looks like he's also struggling a little bit in the background, but the gap is 2.2 seconds between them as Moose struggles to power through the Dunlop right now. Really, really struggling to keep it pointed forwards, but so far he's kept it between the white lines, which is the most important thing, but he has got that half a second penalty as we come through Tetra Rouge then, with Lyric and Boku and Cyrus Nicky and Felmora in a very close proximity of each other. So if they do want to catch up with the top two drivers, they really do need to work as a team and try not to go for too many manoeuvres where they can be picking up quite a substantial amount of speed, I think, TKs.
Yeah, I think so. Working together is definitely key. They are also all on the intermediates, where I believe Moose and Wid are both on the full wets. So we're seeing the benefit of the full wets at the start of this race. But as the track dries, like we saw in qualifying, as the track dries, those intermediates are going to be key, and they were gaining so much time. So if these guys can work together, not lose too much time as this track dries out, I could see them catching up to Moose and Wid.
Oh, and we've also got a donation from Papa, to saying thanks to everyone involved with the NRL. He is coming with the $10 donation. Thank you so much, Papa. Very, very kind, and certainly we thank you from the bottom of our hearts in NRL. Thank you for that generation for that generosity.
Donation.
Yeah.
Look at this battle going on right here with Salamander coming up into this heavy braking zone. He's going to try to stick it around the outside as Nuke and Felmora go wheel to wheel, and now Nuke is able to pull ahead of Felmora.
Indeed, yes, and well commentated there, TKs. Yeah, they are still side by side, I think, but it looks like I think he's just about got the move done as we look on board with Digital Relay at the back of this five-way train then. And PhD Caper has a half a second penalty, which is definitely not good news for him, as we got yellow flags. What's happened?
Looks like Caper serving a penalty.
Yeah, but we've also got yellow flags.
Oh, 3.5 second penalty. So something happened with PhD Caper right there. Must have made contact with somebody. Now he's got a second.
It might be Moose. Moose is down into P7 with a 1 second penalty. Down into P8 now. So it looks like Moose may have made a mistake now. In fact, down into P9. So we ride on board with Moose. He was currently in P2 as he came up to Indianapolis. Oh, he goes deep and sideways and did really well not to clatter into the wall. But that has cost him many positions then. Down 7 positions and picked up a 1 second penalty to boot as well. So unlucky for Moose, and this is what I was saying, it only takes one mistake, and unfortunately it's happened to Moose. So Yeah.
I believe he's not running any assists. So I thought we got news that he wasn't, and then it looked like he turned them on, but they look like they're off again to me. So very interesting to be running this with no traction controller. A bump there, no damage though for him, thankfully. But I'm doing this the hard way, for sure.
For sure, and that 3-second penalty on Caper was most likely from making an overtake during that yellow flag. It's a frustrating penalty. You don't realize you're overtaking somebody or you're in the process of, and then that yellow flag pops up and you get pinned with a 3-second penalty.
And sometimes you didn't overtake anyway, you know.
Exactly.
It's a very flawed penalty, and just unfortunate for him there.
Yeah, I think though that penalty will be rescinded by the stewards though, so I think he will get the 3 seconds back. Well, I mean, yeah, I've had word that only if he hasn't overtaken somebody. But the thing is, I don't know. I guess it's one for the stewards, isn't it? Because obviously he didn't really say so. As we've got Moose now challenging Sheldologist for that 8th position then as we come up to the first chicane of turn number 10. Sheldologist getting on the brakes a lot later, and he goes deep. And Moose, if he gets good traction out the exit, should propel his way up into P8, which he does with a bit of a wiggle as well. And Moose on his merry way for his mission to start climbing up the grid again. That was a little bit unfortunate from Sheldologist. Tried to be the latest of the late breakers, but a little bit too late on this occasion, Tatu.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, this is going to happen over and over again. We're going to see the fastest people make huge mistakes. It's going to come down to who can be, closest to perfect and make the right choice of tires. Right now, it looks like the inters and wets are somewhat even. I know Wid's running away on wets, but Wid would run away on softs. So
we got Cyrus Snicky looking to go up the inside of GI Boku. It's going to be tight, and there's a slight nudge as well on Boku as he goes a little bit wide, and it looks like Cyrus Snicky is going to take full advantage with Fillmore pushing him on as well into P3 and Fillmore with P4. Tell us about that, Tati, please.
Salamander coming out of and Digital Relay involved as well. I don't know if they touched each other, but Salamander definitely was facing the wrong way coming out of Molzon corner there. And then I saw Digital Relay end up in frame as well. So those two have just fell way out of the slipstream there. Oof.
Yeah, it looked like Relay just missed his braking point, and Salamander just got on the throttle a bit too early.
Yeah, completely separate.
Yeah, it was. It came from a mile away from downtown, as they say, and unfortunately went past downtown, I think, into the wall, I think, from Digital Relay. So we look aboard with GI Boku then, who's trying to challenge S7R Nuke. It looks like Nuke has actually taken that position away from Boku then, who is now in P4 and Boku in P5. So moves up into P6 now. So he's starting to climb his way back up the grid then and make up for lost time. But it's certainly very close between actually from 10th to about 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
So a 7-way battle for the last step of the podium then. So it's very close and certainly going to be very intense for the drivers, I think. We'll stay on board with Boku because he's very, very close to the back of S7R Nuke. They both get a good exit out of the last turn of lap number 3 onto lap number 4. Boku is going to try to take the line on the outside, which could be the inside line actually for the next turn, but dips out of it for the time being with close approaching Moose just behind his 6th position. But it looks like Boku got a very good exit out of the turn, and I thought they were going to be side by side as they went through the next turn, but Nuke just sweeping on in front of him for the time being as we come through the S's now. And Boku actually just pushing him on a little bit further. as Nuke goes purple through sector 1, and Baku gets a much better exit and propels his way past Nuke into P4. Baku will be looking to try and pick up the slipstream from Felmora as we almost went 3 wide going down the Mulsanne straights, and in fact Moose draws up alongside Baku with Nuke pushing him on. So Moose up into P4, they're going into the break zone now, and Moose just about holds off Nuke and Cyrus Nicky. Baku into P4 though, TKs.
Yeah, sorry, my headset just cut out. I lost it. My apologies.
So just looking aboard, it looks like there's battles galore between Baku and Felmora. Baku tried to come up alongside him, but backs off for the time being. But Moose just in front of Nuke in P6. But certainly they are starting to catch up with PhD Lyric in second position. 2.3 seconds up the road, but they are side by side, Felmora and Baku. And it looks like Moose is going to pick up that slipstream from the cars in front as well, but they're still side by side as we come through the to the hairpin now, and Felmora Baku gets better traction in fact and moves up into P3, I think, Tati.
Yes, that is crazy, going side by side into what is that, Mulsanne in the rain.
Yeah.
It's insane. That was amazing racing there. I want to point out Caper with a penalty back there in P9. He's got some speed, but he keeps picking up penalties. He's definitely one to watch. Wow, the battle is on, man.
Drivers are incredible. I'm so impressed.
Little bit of a tap, as Tati said there. Felmora loses 2 positions. Baku up into P3, Moose up into P4 as he takes the outside line. It looks like Cyrus Nicky looking for an opportunity as well, as Felmora gets better traction than Moose and propels his way up into P4 with Cyrus Nicky up into P5, Moose down into P6. So it is literally like a yo-yo right now, commenting on every corner. There is positions changing on a corner-to-corner basis, but at the moment looks like GI Baku is starting to stretch his lead over Felmora to about a second now, looking to try and hound down PSG Lyric in second position, who is 3.3 seconds down the road from him, TKs.
Yes, indeed. It is just amazing to me that, and okay, I was just about to say this, with coming into the pits right now, because the track is drying out, we're going to see some drivers maybe take the gamble, go onto that soft tire.
Yeah, it looks like they're all coming in. Lyrics decided to stay on circuit though, so he will inherit the race lead for the time being, with Cyrus Nicky also carrying on as well into P2, 1.4 seconds ahead of Almost Podium in P3, and Digital Relay in 4th position. So Wid is the leader in terms of the drivers boxing for new tyres. We'll see if, I'm pretty sure it's going to be soft tyres, isn't it? So it is Wid, Baku, Felmora, Moose that have come in, and they're also going to put a splash of fuel in as well. So Wid re-enters the circuit in 5th position, with PHG Caper up into 6th position, Moose 7th position, GI Baku 8th position. And Cyrus Nicky has got a half a second penalty in the background, so that gap, which is roughly about 4 seconds, is going to widen at some point in this lap. So maybe Almost Podium will be catching up to Cyrus Nicky in due course, Tati.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anymore. The pace is insane out here. I think that he might be. I mean, of course, with that penalty, it's not a huge penalty, but you usually lose more than the actual penalty is worth when you take them, unfortunately. So assuming a half penalty really costs you 1.2, yeah, I think Almost Podium would be right there with him after you service it. But he's got a lot of lap to, like, catch up or run away from him. You just don't know until you get to it.
And if you notice, he's got front bumper damage as well.
Oh, I didn't notice. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I didn't.
You're right.
So that's going to be a factor. So losing time with the penalty, Almost Podium is slowly gaining on him, and he's losing a little arrow.
Okay, and that makes things very interesting because Almost Podium needs this result here. Almost Podium, who is doing reasonably well in the championship, but he just needs a good result to finally cement his position into the final. Certainly ahead of schedule then. I predicted he needs a 5th position, but currently he's in 3rd position, and he's now going to close that gap to Cyrus Nicky to within slipstream range then as we come up to Indianapolis for the 5th time. And yeah, Cyrus Nicky, of course, hasn't served that penalty, so surely he's going to inherit that 2nd position ahead of time.
But he's still going to have to pit because they're on the enter still. Yeah. So we had Witt in that picture-in-picture. He's storming through on the softs, and we'll see what happens here. They're going to have to pit. Are they going to lose their podium positions when they go into the pits?
Well, yeah, that is an interesting. Sorry, Tati, go on.
Just to say, Caper with yet another half-second penalty to serve. I mean, I feel like it's every lap at this point.
Yeah, well, Caper is one of them drivers. Oh, we got a spin, and that was Caper in the background. It looked like he went very, very deep into on Arge, isn't it? Yeah, he's race going from bad to worse at the moment. Looks like Felmora's going to have the overspeed and move up into P8. Will Nuke be able to get past him with the overspeed as well as we come up to the Porsche curves now? And yes, he does lose that position to Nuke, who moves up into P9 and Caper into 10th position. Just about to mention with Caper, really does need to get a good result to cement his place into the final. I do predict a 5th and the fastest lap, or maybe a 4th, but yeah, not looking good for the time being as Witt comes across the start-finish line to start lap number 6 and move up into 2nd position with a Digital Relay still not making his pit stop then. He is 13.5 seconds up the road when now we've got GI Boku and Moose side by side, although Moose, it may have been Boku getting past Moose, I'm not sure, but Boku currently P3 and Moose on his bumper in P4 as we come through Dunlop for the 6th time. But yeah, certainly the conditions are a lot drier now. They're on the racing soft slick tyres, and it's just important now to keep it away from the curves and stick to them drier lines as humanly possible as Shai Boku does flick up. Oh, nearly he slides out, and Moose nearly slides out as well, but Boku loses all types of traction out of Tetra Rouge, and Moose up the inside into 3rd position, TKs.
Indeed, that was amazing. Good save by Baku. Way to take advantage as we come here. We're going to see Baku just touch that white line, touch the curb, and it's still wet out there, losing a lot of grip. Lucky not to spin out, and Moose is able to keep it on the track and take that position.
Yeah, and I'm probably scaring a lot of the drivers because a lot of my predictions are coming true here, so maybe I should stop talking about the curbs.
Guys, Caper's penalty is gone up to 3.5 seconds. Sheldologist just served a 3-second penalty a lap ago, by the way, or last lap. So penalties are killing some folks, but yeah, Caper's still on those inters, still yet to pit, has damage, and now 3.5 seconds of penalty. It's gone from bad to worse.
And that's probably from coming out of the pits. When you come out of the pits on the slicks, the pit lane is still wet, and it's so easy to... Oh, he's still on the inters.
So it might have been another yellow flag situation, or maybe whatever caused him that damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we are, what 2/3 of the way through the race then, and yeah, it is, oh, Moose goes very sideways out of Mulsanne, and he's going to lose a bit of time to Boku then as he starts closing in using that slipstream. So the gap is within about 0.6 of a second. So Moose will be feeling this pressure as Boku gets bigger and bigger in his mirrors. But yeah, Boku really needs this. He really needs to climb as many positions as possible. He is 19 seconds. Sorry, Moose is 19 seconds adrift of the leader at the moment, but the real race leader probably is Wid, who is 12.7 seconds up the road in second, or provisionally second position. Moose, I mean, he told me that this was a circuit that he didn't enjoy, but still doing really well in provisional second position. So we'll see in the final 3 laps whether or not he'll be able to hold off Baku, or whether or not Baku's pressure will be telling. But Moose is actually starting to pull away now. And actually doing really well through the Porsche curves, as well as Digital Relay comes in from the provisional race lead with very low fuel and very burnt out intermediates. We'll see where he comes out on a track once he's put on new tyres and a splash of fuel as well. So Wid is now the new leader of the race then, with a comfortable margin then, and Felmora, as we're on board with him at the moment, is trying to hold off his fellow countryman in almost podium in 6th position. The gap is just 0.8 of a second as they come across the start finish line and move up a position as well. So Felmora up into P4, almost podium into P5, Sheldologist into P6, S7R Nuke into P7, and Cyrus Nicky in 8th position then. Something that is a bit of a shock to us, I think, Tati.
Yeah, I mean, that's not where we expected him to be. I think he qualified, where did he qualify? 4th? I know he qualified well, yes, at least. So, yeah, to see him down in 8th is disappointing, but I mean, we have two and a half very long laps left in this race. I think that, you know, there could be a chance for rain to come back, even though we're on a dry line. We're seeing a dry line now. I know we have some questions about the weather. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, the action is not going to end here because Moose has picked up a 0.5 second penalty then. The gap was 1.5 seconds between Moose and Baku, but surely if Baku can kind of keep this pace, then he will definitely be challenging for that second position from Moose, and that is dependent if Moose doesn't pick up any more penalties. So we'll have to wait and see, but certainly we have a battle for P4 as well, because Felmora is currently holding 4th position ahead of almost podium, who is just 0.3 of a second down on him as we go into the brake zone for turn number 15. So good.
Yeah, did Felmora pit? Because are they going for a no stop? Can you make the fuel last that long? That is a bold move.
On Dr. Keepers, I mean, I know he's trying to find every puddle he can to try to cool him down, but you're running out of puddles. I mean, the track is really drying up, but maybe he thinks the rain will come again and he doesn't have to pit again. I don't know.
Yeah, on the fuel, but surely this is losing him time. Almost podium now, all over the gearbox of Felmora as he defends for his life, but it surely is just a matter of time for almost podium to get past him as he tried to drop alongside him with a tiny bit of contact between the two drivers as we come up to Indianapolis. Almost podium pulls out for it, out of it for the time being, but there's Sheldologist around the outside into P5 and takes advantage of almost podium backing off there. So almost podium maybe being a little bit too conservative as he tried to get past Felmora. Felmora, though, really battling to save himself in P4, but Sheldologist should have the superior grip here as long as he sticks to the dry lines as we come through the Porsche curves now. This is obviously a place that you can't really make moves on, so it's all about timing your move and getting in front of him when the opportunity presents to him. Oh, Sheldologist goes wide. What's that contact between the two drivers?
No, it looked like he just got on the wet line and couldn't make the car turn.
I didn't see any contact either.
Okay, let's have a look on the replay then, because yes, there is only one dry line, of course, and as they went side by he went wide.
Got in the water.
Yeah, you have to stick to the dry lines, especially on them racing soft tyres. So, costly mistake there for Sheldologist, and This could be his last race in season 5 then, after that mistake. So unlucky from Sheldologist, easily done. But certainly someone that is battling to stay in season 5 is Boku. The gap is 1.2 seconds. I thought the gap would close up a little bit after Moose serving that penalty, but still 1.3 seconds. But the soft tyres that Boku's using are starting to wear down a little bit on them rear tyres, and that's where the car becomes a little bit snappy on the exits of the slow corners. But still, very good position for him currently. And then we've got a three-way battle for 6th position between Cyrus Nicky, PhD Lyric, and S7R Nuke then, who are in a bit of a slipstream battle as we come up to turns 10, 11, and 12. And they are a line of stern right now. Tati, is there any other action going on from your end?
I was actually watching this battle, but Kaker, I think, was still on the interest too. He just pulled out of the pits on fresh sauce, and of course he is carrying a half-second penalty. He's got Sheldologist right behind him though, so I guess the battle has just formed here for P11.
Whereas looks like PhD Lyric has closed in on Cyrus Nicky. Is he going to push him on? It does look like the case. Just to answer one question in chat, bump drafting is allowed. So yeah, they can work together to try and catch up with the drivers in front. Filmora's going to hold that inside line from Cyrus Nicky though. There's nowhere for Cyrus to go, so he is going to have to be patient and try and use that slipstream, but Lyric is going to push him on, so they are working in tandem to try and catch up with the drivers in front of them. TKs.
Indeed, and it seems to be working. It is tricky here. It seems like if you lose one position, you end up losing 2 positions, as we've seen so many. One person overtakes, another person just follows them through as they go side by side, coming in to the left-hander, and Filmora is able to stay ahead of PhD Lyric there.
Oh.
But now, it's not over, and they're going back as Filmora gets the inside and Lyric runs wide. And now Nuke's there. See, you lose 1 position, you lose 3. Like, this is insane.
We were just saying about them working as a team, and then all of a sudden they're battling it out, going completely against the grain, and it looks like S7R Nuke, I thought he was going to make a move for Filmora as they touched into the entry of the Porsche curves. Luckily, Filmora able to keep it on a circuit. Lyric now closing that gap to Nuke. They are literally bumper to bumper through the Porsche curves, and it's certainly going to be spicy in what is coming up the last lap of the races. Lyric moves up into P7 then, ahead of S7R Nuke. And we get to look on board of the replay here then. So it's Cyrus Nicky, Filmora, and then of course we were speaking about Lyric, weren't we? And he was on the outside. There was a tiny bit of door banging between him and Filmora, and he went wide and lost the position to Filmora and Nuke to move down his P8. We are on the last lap, Tati, and surely the action is not going to finish here.
No, it's not. I mean, it's a long lap. We have not seen the rain come back, so Filmora, if he was holding out for rain, I don't think that has worked out for him, but there's still a chance. Regardless, he's done a great job of holding on to as many positions as he can on the slower tire and without making the pit stop.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, there is battles up and down the grid right now. Oh, as Moose went a little bit sideways on the exit of the first chicane at turn number 12. But Boku has got that second position now. So I do wonder whether or not Moose did make a mistake in the previous lap or not. But the gap is within a second of a second, and it's tumbling as well as we approach the second chicane of lap 9 then, and it is as close as it can be. And just looking at the map at the moment just to see if there's any other battles going on. Is there anything that you can see at the moment, Tati?
I mean, Salamander versus Caper for not last. Other than that, nothing else is exciting on track.
Right, okay. So it does look like then we just got one battle. Oh, what's that?
Cyrus for the half-second penalty. Cyrus Nicky in 4th place, almost podium. He's 2.3 seconds behind him. I don't think he'll take the position, but he'll get closer.
Yes, yeah, it could provide all types of pressure to Cyrus Nicky. Almost podium does need to try and finish as high up as possible, although still in a good position in 5th position. But yeah, certainly, yeah, he ran a little bit wide out of the chicane there. That would have cost him some time. But yes, Cyrus Nicky with that half-second penalty, and the gap is 3 seconds. So it does, side by side with Baku and Moose, it looked like. But Moose looks like he's backed out for the time being. Baku managing to hold on to that 2nd position, and Moose firmly behind him. But it's definitely going to be squeaky bum time as we come up to the Porsche curves now then. So we have got 1, maybe 2 sectors to go. So can Baku hold his nerve or not? That is the question, because Wid is certainly going to come home with the race victory. So congratulations to Wid. 3rd win back-to-back for him in Group A. In the group stages of Division A, sorry. And GI Baku does look like he's going to hold on to P2 if he doesn't cut any curves. He is nice and tidy through there. Oh, he's out of gas. I've heard he's out of gas. But Baku does come across the line for P2. Moose out of gas, sorry, in P3. But he had a sizable gap to Cyrus Nicky. As Cyrus Nicky cuts the curb, will he get a penalty for that? No, he grabs P4 for him, almost podium with an excellent P5 for him. We'll see whether or not that's good enough for him to get through into the finals next week. S7R Nuke with an excellent 6th position. Sheldologist just in front of PSG. Lyric's going to get him on the line. Up into P7 and Sheldologist down into 8th position. Wow, that was very tight between the two drivers. Let's have a look on the replays. We got the final embers there as we came up to the 2 last corners, the last chicane, and Sheldologist went a little bit wide, couldn't get the traction down, and there was Lyric up the inside to move up into 7th position. Amazing indeed, with Sheldologist in 8th, Digital Relay in 9th, and it looks like Salamander, his journey has come to an end then, I think, because he is in 10th position and he was already in the drop zone. So it's been a valiant effort from Salamander, but he is going to come home in 10th position. PSG Caper, it looks like his journey has also come to an end as he finishes outside of the points. And will finish in the drop zone with Felmora just trickling the car home with no fuel and no tyres, it seems, T-Case.
Yeah, indeed. The no stop, yeah, just didn't work out for them, unfortunately.
It did not work out. He had a huge spin coming out of Arnage, and then I guess used the rest of his fuel spinning that useless tire up just to get turned back around. Yeah, it went from brilliant to terrible. Wow.
Yeah, that was a strange decision in my eyes from Felmora there. I have not seen anyone try that strategy. So fair play that he tried it, but yeah, I felt like there was only ever going to be one outcome on that one. But congratulations to Win with his 3rd victory of the season, his 3rd back-to-back as well. Maximum points for him, especially he's got the fastest lap as well, so that'll be 26 points going to him, and again, just a class above the rest, I think. Right, okay, so we're going to have a look at the provisional results, because there was a fair few contentious incidents up and down the grid, but one thing that is confirmed is with his 3rd victory of the season, with a commanding gap as well of 20.5 seconds to his nearest rival, GI Baku. Now, will that be good enough for him to qualify into the finals? We're going to have to wait and see, with Moose coming home in 3rd position. I got my prediction right. Cyrus Nicky comes home in P4. I think he's pretty much certain to be through with almost podium. It's going to be touch and go whether or not he makes it or not. He finished in 5th position. We've got S7R Nuke that finished in 6th position, and PHG Lyric. Not 100% sure about Lyric as well. Sheldologist comes home in 8th position. Unfortunately, that's not good enough for him. Digital Relay, it's going to be touch and go for him, I think, as well, who finishes in 9th position. Salamander, I do know, don't think he qualifies for the next round. He finishes in 10th position. PSG Caper, his journey does come to an end because I know he was in 15th going in to this race, and then Felmora with that audacious strategy didn't quite work out for him, but he finishes in 12th position. Okay, but we're going to get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers. So we're going to start off with Moose, I do believe, who finished in 3rd position. So, Moose, congratulations on 3rd position. You said you didn't like this place, but I also told you that you'll probably get a podium, and there it was. You got P3. So, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It was I had fun. I don't normally run this track that much. It's not one of my go-tos for sure.
No, but it was certainly a great performance from you. Tell us a bit about your race, how it fared, and how was the weather conditions as well compared to what may have happened in practice.
No, the weather is pretty consistent with what I'd seen in practice. I knew the wet tires were better for at least the first 3 laps than the intermediates, and then it was looking like you had enough cars on track. The end of 4 you could go in for softs. So if anything, I felt like the intermediates were only going to be faster for maybe lap 4, but I didn't think they were really faster. And I knew I got held up on my last qualifying lap a little bit, and so I started P3, and I knew that who was P2? I can't think of who was P2, but Cyrus Nicky. So I knew Cyrus Nicky was starting on their intermediate, so I needed to get by Cyrus Nicky as quick as I could to try to get in the toe of Wid. And it was going well. I was saving fuel in the toe of Wid, and then I don't know. I lost it. I got in a wet spot and end up spinning out. I don't even know where I went back to, like 10th or something.
Yeah. I was about to say, you spun out, and I think you had a penalty as well. Which added insult to injury. But tell us your thoughts from that moment, and excellent fight back from you, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that I was already fuel saving a good bit, and that I knew if I could I wanted to make sure I got back out on track safe, first of all, serve my 1 second penalty, and then I had good enough pace, but it was just difficult because there were so many people on different tires and different strategies. So some people were fuel saving, and it was just trying to get around people the right way, not bump people. But in the wet, it's so difficult going 200 mile an hour, going so fast. It's there's a lot of bumping that takes place.
No, it certainly looked very challenging out there, that's for sure, Moose. But Tati, have you got any thoughts or questions to Moose? Oh, Tati, you might be muted again. Oh, okay.
I thought I'd hit the button already before this happened. Sorry. Yeah, Moose. Gosh. I think we noticed for a lot of the race, you didn't seem to be running any assists. Now, was that a glitch, or were you really going at this fully raw?
Yeah, I had no assist on. The only time I turned on assist was, I think, the beginning of lap 2, because I got the second penalty, and I was just frustrated. So I ran assist for traction control for about 3 corners, and I'm like, I'm already going to serve this penalty. So I just turned it back off. But I was just using a higher gear, leaving corners. So people who were using traction control would leave some corners in second, and I was just leaving in third.
Mm-hmm.
And although I was losing like a little initial acceleration, I felt like not having a gear change and ended up being quicker for me. So really, I don't know. I really didn't on controller. It's doable. So yeah, I ran no assist the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly worked out for you because even after you fell way down the order, you came right back up onto the podium. So, congratulations. We'll see you at the next race.
Yeah, thank you.
And TK's finally, any questions or thoughts?
Yeah, Moose, great job, man. That was exciting. What a comeback after that initial incident there at the beginning of the race. But you came across the line with no fuel. Were you nervous that you might get caught and lose that podium position?
I mean, I seen there was a gap, but I just wanted to race. Baku's my boy. I knew he needed points anyway, so I'm super happy he got second. He needed some help on points, but I was just having fun racing with him, man. I was just trying to keep it clean, and I could tell he was doing a lot of fuel saving at one point, and then I started doing some fuel saving, and I didn't even get the notification on my screen. You know, sometimes it come up so like 0.1 of fuel, point whatever. Mine came up and it said 0.00 of fuel. I'm like, oh shoot! So I went straight to fuel mix 6 and immediately ran out of fuel. So I coasted the whole last I was looking at the gap, but it looked like I think it was Nikki behind me. It looked like there was a good enough gap. So yeah, luckily I was able to coast to the end. But you know, happy for Baku to get a good finish, and you know, congrats to Wid also for the win.
Awesome, man. Well, great job. You did an excellent job. Really good performance this whole season from you.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you haven't finished outside of a podium this season, so surely you must be feeling confident ahead of the finals coming up next week.
Yeah, I mean, generally we always go off of what is it, you know, points for qualifying position. So happy to get a P3. Should be starting hopefully somewhere in top 5, I imagine, top 4, top 5. So yeah, I'm ready to find out the combo and go to work, man. That's all you can do.
Yep, very, very true. And will you be using your wheel, or is it still on the controller?
I'm gonna start on wheel. So I just got it like 3 days ago. So I'm gonna practice on wheel, and I'll probably just see what the pace is between the two after, I don't know, maybe an hour or two of practice. And if it's something I can get up to speed with by next week, I'll definitely love to be on the wheel. Yeah.
Well, good luck to you in next week's final, Moose, and congratulations on that 3rd position as well. And yeah, look forward to seeing you next week.
Appreciate it, Flawed. See you guys next week, man.
Yeah, see you next week. Take care, mate.
All right.
And on to our race winner, 3rd victory in a row. In fact, he hasn't finished outside of winning in a winning position. Sorry. So with in 2 seasons, actually, well, outside of a podium, isn't it? There was the one race. But anyways, Wid, how are you feeling after your race today?
Feeling pretty good. No real complaints. It's yeah, I just did what I had to do, and yeah, pretty chill.
Always gracious in victory. Yeah, I was going to say, Wid, obviously you was phenomenal in qualifying. You had that half a second penalty. I mean, was there at any point you was worried that you wasn't going to get that pole position?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd get it. You know, and plus I knew there were a bunch of people behind me because that track dries up really quickly. So everyone behind me was going to be on a slightly drier track. So they had a bit more potential to do a faster lap than me. So when you add in the half-second penalty, I didn't really think I would take pole. But, you know, happy I did. Even if I didn't take it, yeah, I'm already in the final round. So it might have just been a little more entertaining if I started further back.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, you started on pole position. So was it a case of just trying to be consistent, trying not to pick up them penalties, which is quite easily done at this circuit? Was that the plan?
I think so. You know, the first couple laps, there was a crazy tailwind in the first sector, and I know that caught a lot of people out on the very first corner. So it was just kind of minding which way the wind was blowing and keeping an eye on the weather radar, and then watching Moose as he was he really reeled me in after the first lap, but then he had an incident. So yeah, I was just mainly keeping an eye on the weather radar and watching to see when I could pit for softs.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, no, it was a faultless race as per usual. I say that every week, and you never fail. So congratulations to you, Tati. Have you got any questions for our race winner?
Of course, congratulations, Wid. Well done again.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. It got pretty sketchy for you there in qualifying. I noticed you pitted. I think you were still on your out lap when you pitted and got off the wets for the inters. Was that correct?
I was on my first flying lap.
First flying.
I didn't complete the flying lap.
That's what it was. Yes, correct. So what was it that you saw about the wets? Did you really think the inters were that much quicker? Was it worth the pit stop to you? Because like I said, it came close.
Wets were never going to be good. Like any laps that you did earlier in the session, they just weren't going to be good because the track was starting to dry up near the end. So the last lap is going to be everyone's fastest lap. So even if I finished that flying lap, it would have put me way in the back after everyone qualified. So I was comfortable saving everything till the end. Because I mean, even if I messed up that last lap, if I had a banker lap in, that banker was still going to be pretty slow.
Got it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's really smart thinking there. Congratulations. Obviously, you deserve the win. And again, we will see you in the next race.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, TK, any thoughts, any questions?
No questions. I just want to say congratulations, man. That was super impressive. A dominant victory. Made it a little spicy there in qualifying for us, but you just ran away with it. Great job and congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, nothing much. I need to say, really weird. You've just been absolutely dominant through this season. Of course, you are defending your crown from season 4. Being that you've been dominant through the group stages, are you feeling confident ahead of the final coming up next week?
I mean, to a point. I've only raced against the Saturday guys, right? So you never know what the Friday guys have, and a combo can be good for anyone. So you never know what's going to happen on race day. I'm just looking forward to seeing what we got and trying my best.
Yes, indeed. Well, of course, stick around because obviously the preview of the finals, the final races, is coming up shortly. So we'll see what the combo will be and whether or not that suits you or not. But congratulations on the race victory, and really look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
For sure. Thanks a lot, guys, and see you in the finals.
See you in the finals. See you, Wid. Take care, mate. Okay, I think that is the interview's done. We wasn't able to get second position into the interview room. We're good. We're going to go for our final break then. When we come back, we'll see who's made the cut and who's missing out with both the Division A and B final standings, as well as a sneak preview for both the races, the grand finale next week. So we'll be back very shortly. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you are fully refreshed and ready to find out the final standings, who's made it and who's going home. But before we do, a quick shout out to Henke's Tavern and Little J CPA, our sponsors for the NRL Season 5. A huge thank you from us in the NRL for their continued support. So, I'm sure the drivers are waiting in anticipation, but the wait is finally over. Let's take a look at the final standings between both divisions, starting off with the drivers that didn't make the cut, 28th to 15th in Division B. Tati, please take it away.
All right, no problem. So in Division B here, starting from 28th, should be 28th, correct, production?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a four-way tie for 25th. I didn't understand that. Sorry. That is between BHR Fernando B, Santa Miguel S7R Shadow Chef, and Z48 C4R 88 with 0 points each. Then in 24th place, you've got P Roswell with 2 points. Beef Castle in 23rd with 6 points, and D Hop in 22nd with 7 points. A two-way tie for 20th between PHG Strict 9 and PHG Horn of Plenty for 9 points there. Krulab is in 19th place. Sorry, Krulab 11 in 19th place with 10 points. Angry Fredbird in 18th with 11 points. In 17th, we have RSR Zilla with 16 points. 16th is BHR Johnny Boy with 18 points. And Spawn is in 15th with 22 points after today. Moving on to 14th place, we're looking at Parquet with 23 points. PHG Arrows in 13th with 24 points. Jezer in 12th with 26 points, then Stumpy in 11th with 28 points. You have a three-way tie for 8th between PHG Mr. Oman, Old Man Pip, and Bandit with 29 points apiece. Then Sugar Shuffles is in 7th place with 32 points. PHG Lead Pencil and Corridor 71 share P5 with 35 points. Slick VHVR2, Arnax in 4th place has 43 points, my fault. Slick VHVR2 has the 3rd place with 45 points. Then BHR Pelias Pango in 2nd with 62 points, followed by PHG Shaggy Doo with 63 points. He was first in the Division B overall ratings.
Thank you, Tati. I was correct. It was 23 points to make it.
Spot on. Good job.
Way to go.
And TKs, if you can read us through 28th to 15th, just falling short in their pursuit of the final for Division A, please.
Yes, we got the tie for 27th here with no points, Deputy Fishtail and Bandit 1. Then we have a tie for 25th between Felmora and Luis with 1 point. And then in 24th, RSR Ace R1 with 2 points. In 23rd, we have Lagtastic with 5 points. And 21st, we have PHG Papa with 6 points. Tied for 21st with PHG Sheldologist, also 6 points. Then we have a tie for 19th between PHG Salamander and Chief Apollo 11 with 11 points. Then we got a three-way tie for 16th between Subi, Digital Relay, and PHG Caper, all with 12 points. Then in 15th, we have PHG Rick Shear with 15 points. And in this one, getting through with 16 points, we have Darken Ezreal at P14. And then we have GI Boku in P13 with 20 points. A tie for 11th between PHG Lyric and Elkos with 22 points. Then we have P10, Almost Podium with 24 points. P9, the Truth Serum with 31 points. P8, S7R Nuke with 33 points. PHG Fast Cougar QC in P7 with 35 points. Cyrus Nikki GT in P6 with 36 points. Talon in P5 with 40 points. Then we have a tie for third between MMR Moose 21 and Bobajito CBR with 51 points. Coming in second, PHG Jorge Sr. with 57 points, and then with the commanding lead, WID NP1 with 77 points.
Thank you, TKs. And Yeah, that one was very, very tight. Congratulations to all the drivers that made it, and commiserations to the drivers that missed out. But it is the moment you've been waiting for, the finals reveal, starting off with the grand finale of Division B.
So let's go.
Oh, and we are at Sardinia. Road A reverse in this 1 hour race using the Super Formula SF23 car, and there's no qualifying in this one as it's set to the championship order for the grid. Start type is a grid start with full start check and balance of performance turned off. Brake balance is allowed though. Mechanical damage is set to heavy with a tyre wear rate at ×2 and a fuel consumption rate at ×2. All racing compounds are available, but the racing hards are required. What are your thoughts, Tati?
I'm not good at driving Formula cars, so maybe some people will shine here and others won't. But I mean, this track backwards is pretty challenging in and of itself. 1 hour with all tire compounds available and one required also means that we're going to see a ton of different strategies play out here. This will be good.
Yeah, indeed. And TKs, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is going to be a doozy. This is NRL season final, so I mean that's what we expect. This is going to be one of those cars that the people in VR are going to probably be really happy about. These open wheel cars are a lot of fun in VR, so that's going to be something to see. And I believe these do have overtake, so that's going to be another thing to consider. But like Tati said, we're going to have a lot of different strategies with all these tires available, and I know all the drivers are thankful that it does not rain here.
Yeah, that probably more importantly there. But yeah, certainly a combo I've never seen before. So this is going to be such a great time, I think. Well, for us in the commentary booth, can't speak for the drivers. But what is coming up for Division A? Let's take a look. Oh, okay, and we are at the Red Bull Ring for this Division A final. It's going to be 66 laps in the Gran Turismo F3500 car. That is the sort of like the 1980s Formula car, I do believe. Again, no qualifying as the grid order will be set by the championship order with a grid start and full start check enabled. Balance of power is turned off, but they can tweak the brake balance and the downforce quite interestingly. Mechanical damage is set to heavy. Tire wear rate is at ×2 with a fuel consumption rate at ×2. All racing compounds are available, including the wets if it is to rain, which it does look like it will do. Two different tires are required. I'm guessing it meaning the slick tires rather than like racing softs and intermediates or something, right? They're definitely a very interesting combo. What are your thoughts, TKs?
I'm excited. Unfortunately, I have to miss the finals. I will be checking in on my phone, but this is one that I'm definitely going to hop in some practice lobbies. Red Bull Ring's one of my favorite tracks. I usually don't like high downforce cars, but I enjoy them around this circuit. So this looks like fun. This looks like a lot of fun. Throw in some rain and we're going to have a good time.
And so, is this your kind of thing?
Formula cars, but Red Bull Ring is treacherous. So a Red Bull Ring in the rain with twitchy 80s Formula cars should be oh my gosh, I thought today was going to be scary. Next week or this race will definitely be a nightmare for some.
Yeah, I'm good in my commentary booth, that is for sure.
Yep. Happy to be here.
Yeah, but it certainly is going to be a very, very exciting one. That is for sure. As both finals are set to be held next week on Saturday, the 26th of April at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And will be hosted by myself, Floor Genius Gaming, Foon, and Tatty. So make sure you look out for this one as the drama heats up. Will Wid be able to defend his NRL crown, or will we see a new champion coronated in NRL Season 5? Be sure to tune in and watch the action unfold. Making sure if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of the racing action. And if you haven't already done so, kindly smash that like button before you leave the broadcast to help support the channel and push our content further across all four corners of the globe. It'll be hugely appreciated. Right, okay, so TK, your final thoughts on today and any particular driver of the day, and it'll be good to see who your driver of the day is in chat as well.
Oh man, what a day. My brain feels kind of scrambled after everything we've gone through. Absolutely loved what I saw. Driver of the day, it's hard. I want to say Moose. I think what he was able to pull off after that unfortunate beginning of the race, and to come back and finish in third with no fuel left, getting his clean sweep of podiums, that did it for me. For sure. And I do want to say this is my last commentating for season 5. I will not be here next week. So I just want to say thank you so much, Flawed and Tati. It's been great working with you again this season. And I look forward to whenever season 6 is announced and gets going. Looking forward to being back in the booth with y'all. And thank you so much, McNaughty, all the drivers and everybody on the production crew who put this together.
It's always a pleasure, TK. You know, I'm actually sad that you can't make it for the finals, although, you know, you've got very good reason, actually, to be fair. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you alongside me. And yeah, hopefully we get to commentate again for season 6. That is for sure. Tassie, as well, you know, what are your thoughts on today's races, and who is your driver of the day?
Today's were fantastic. I love that they both had weather to contend with in very different ways, which I thought was awesome. My driver of the day is Parquet. Much like Moose, he was able to come up from nowhere into top 5, I think from 13th through 4th, just able to really take advantage of that rain coming in at the end at Dragon Trail there. Well done.
Yeah, and it was just enough for him to get into the finals too. That was good. That's a great one. That's a great one. Yeah.
That is a great one. And of course, I'm going to miss you, TKs. I wish that you could be here next week with us, but you're going someplace really, really fun. So I'm not sad.
Right. It mix happy, sad, mixed emotions. There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think my driver of the day is Boku. He grabbed second position. He knew what he had to do. Well, really, he needed the race victory, wasn't it? But of course, you got Weird, haven't you, in the race? You know, not many people beat him. So second position was a great result for him. So he's my driver of the day. Just looking at the chat as well. Have we got any? I think was it Cole? So Horn of Plenty said Cole. Horn of Plenty, driver of the race, but mate, hey, if you want to shout yourself out, you know.
You know, why not?
but no, there were so many great performances out there. So any one of a number of drivers could have got driver of the day. And as I said, congratulations to the drivers that have made it to the finals, and commiserations to the drivers that will be leaving us in season 5. But it is time to close the broadcast for today. But you know, I've got to say a huge thank you to my amazing host joining me once again. And TKs, you make sure you have fun next week. And more importantly, a big thank you to Henke's Tavern and Little JCPA, our sponsors in the NRL, and to all of you wonderful viewers out there. So it's a goodbye from TKs.
Later, y'all.
A goodbye from Tati.
See you next week.
And a goodbye from me. Stay safe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.